Just put them
We're starting late now.
Premier.
Good luck.
Well, hello, and welcome to hello, and welcome to Cricket Central here in the shadow. Well, hello and welcome. Fuck is he on? Well, hello and welcome here to Cricket Central for what's going to be a well, hello. Hello and welcome here to Cricket Central. Hello, welcome to Cricket Central here. Turn us off, Andrew.
It's working now, I just heard you there.
Well, what the fuck is wrong with it?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. There's...
You just go. Because it was very low, then I heard you just talk then.
Ever since it was fine before when I did the sound check.
Yeah. Try it now.
Is everything on?
Go.
Test. No. What is not right?
I could hear you loud on here. Try these. Go with these. And
No, it's...
Because I can hear you loud.
So you can hear me.
Yeah.
It's just not pumping out what I'm wanting it to pump out.
Try again.
You can hear through the stream.
Yes, hello and welcome.
Okay. I don't know if it's speaking up through the camera or through the mic.
Okay.
Yes,
hello and welcome to Cricket Central Women's T20 Finals Day. Apologies for those little bit of technical gremlins that we had there getting to the start of this one, but I am Matt Mears and we're looking forward to taking you through two wonderful Women's T20 Finals here on Australia Day. First up, we've got the Northern District Ranger women taking on Sydney Tigers women for a spot in that grand final. If you haven't caught up with it, one game's already been played this morning with Campbelltown Camden easily taking care of St George Sutherland to earn this spot in the other grand final, which will be on at around 3:30 this afternoon after this one. Firstly up, joining me in commentary today, Kiwi McRanish. Kiwi, great to have you here on an exciting finals day here at Cricket Central.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, listeners and viewers on Frogbox, of course. Going to be a very good semi-final today. Northern District's up against the Sydney Tigers, and then, of course, we'll be calling the the big final after this. So what a day, what facilities here at Cricket Central as well.
Yeah, they certainly are. We do thank Sean Mantle and everybody at Cricket New South Wales for getting us set up here in the facilities here. We are in the room with the Frog Box, so hopefully enjoying our commentary come through that Frog Box camera today. We'll have some of our other friends and Triple H regulars joining us in commentary this afternoon. We'll introduce those as we go through this afternoon. But first off, Kiwi Mick, take us through the two teams for Northern Districts and Sydney for this game, kicking off in about 5 or so minutes' time.
Yeah, the Northern District side today: Alicia Bates, Stella Campbell, Amy Cunningham, Sharon Dass, Sienna Eve, Tara French, Caitlin Galliano, Jessica Galliano. Ava Ryan will be their wicket-keeper, Abby Taylor the captain, Eliza Thompson, Claire Webber, and they're coached by Dan Drew. The Sydney Tigers side today will be Giovanna Arras, Nell Bryson-Smith, Kira Churchland will be their captain, Samira DiMeglio, Jodie Hicks, Sammy Jo Johnson, who's a very great player, Amy Longhurst, Olivia Maxwell, Giselle Plummer, Emily Powell, Eva Ragg, and Alexandra Timms.
Yeah, a few interesting ones there for the two sides. Obviously, Kate Jackson, the skipper for ND's, not part of the team today. We believe she's travelling back from Tasmania.
Yes,
I thought was the mail that we got.
Yeah.
So hopefully she'll be here in time. All things hoping for our local ND Rangers fans will be here for that 3:30 game. And then an interesting Sydney Tigers lineup as well. Obviously with the likes of Jodie Hicks, Sammy Jo Johnson playing, but no Maitland Brown, which we saw her in action 2 weeks ago at Drummoyne Oval, but not being rested or something. We don't have any information on why she's not playing today, but we will see if we can find out that information as that game goes along. But she is a surprise admission, seeing what contribution she made, particularly with the ball last 2 Sundays ago at Drummoyne.
Yeah, absolutely, that's right. I mean, it's a pretty interesting match coming up here. Northern Districts, Sydney Tigers, pretty close one. I'm probably going to tip Northern Districts just. What about you?
Oh, it's one of those ones. It's the big occasion. Obviously, playing here at Cricket Central, the brand new facilities here at Silverwater in the shadow of Sydney Olympic Park. We saw Campbelltown Camden. They winning in the 1v4 game, winning from 4th, showing that it doesn't really matter where you finish on that ladder. You can get a spot in that grand final this afternoon. But as I said, I think there's experience for both teams out there, but yeah, I just think the Rangers, they've been the ones that have been at the top of the table for most of the season. They should hopefully get the job done. As we see the two umpires making their way out to the middle, so hopefully we will see the teams very shortly.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like Sydney Tigers will be batting first as well. So Jodie Hicks and Sammy Jo Johnson. It's going to be big to see how Sammy Jo Johnson goes. And like you were saying, Campbelltown Camden, what a win for them, chasing down 118 there up against the St George Sutherland. So that was a big result, and a big knock there by Anika Leroy, 90 of 66 to lead them with that run chase. So there's work cut out for whoever wins this match, playing against Campbelltown Camden a little bit later on.
Certainly is, and joining us in commentary, at least for the first stint here from Sunday Nights with Callum, it's Callum Sawyer. Callum, great to have you as part of the commentary team for this afternoon's matches.
Well, good afternoon and happy Australia Day to everyone if you're listening around our brilliant patch, and I have to say it is really, really warm here. I've actually taken a note of the weather, not that it's probably, because, well, you know, I'm British, we love talking about the weather. We have got 38 degrees C right here at Sydney Olympic Park. I'm told that it's going to be hitting 40, and there is an extreme heat advisory. So please, if you are in the audience, if you're out and about today, drink some water. Don't do what I did and forget the water, because you're going to regret it.
5 degrees in London.
5 degrees in London. We won't talk about the English weather.
No!
There is a nice little cafe called
18 degrees in Wellington today.
Yes!
We'll be heading down.
New
That's where I'll be
Zealand
heading in my first commentary stint break. I tell you, we'll be Commons just down here at the
Ching ching!
at the opening of Cricket Central here at Cricket New South Wales. As we wait for both teams, Northern District's having a little team photo as they are ready to get in the field. It looks like Sammy Jo Johnson will be opening for the Sydney Tigers as she has done in the past. I would assume that's Jodie Hicks with her.
Yep, correct. Yeah, that's going to be hot like you were saying though, Callum. This weather, I mean, it's cloudy, but it's still really hot out there and very oppressive humidity. That's going to play a factor here with fatigue with the players. Northern Districts will be wearing their predominantly blue strip with the maroon and yellow. The Sydney Tigers wearing the predominantly black strip with the yellow numbers.
Yeah, and of course, we've got the umpires. They're already getting ready to do their their officiating. So with luck, we should get a nice, clean game of cricket today, and definitely no foul ups or screw ups today.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. So, Northern Districts making their way out onto the park. Pretty good crowd here at Cricket Central. Of course, a lot of these players here were watching the game before. Double header, basically two semi-finals. The first semi-final today started at 9 in the morning. This game at 12:15 start, and the final will be at 3:30 as well. It's a big challenge here, Callum, for the players, having the two winning teams obviously having to play a game in the heat. Even at 9 in the morning would have been hot.
Yeah.
And then the final at 3:30 backing up again. They'll sleep well tonight. It's a long day in the heat.
That is definitely something, and I believe you said that one of the players is actually travelling up from Tasmania as we speak. So that's going to be. So I'd hate to be around for the to see how that's going to play out. Certainly, as we look at, we can see that the teams are getting ready. So we should be getting ready for first bat any minute now.
That's right. It is Jodie Hicks to take strike, right-handed batter. Sammy Jo Johnson at the non-striker's end. Two of the best teams, second against third here, of course in the 10-team competition. And opening up the bowling for Northern Districts will be Stella Campbell. Going to be an interesting match here. The lunchtime kickoff on Australia Day, of course. And it's winner goes through to the final at 3:30 to take on Campbelltown Camden. Campbell runs in for the first ball, right arm bowler. Bit short. Oh, and it's beaten outside the off stump straight away. There was some good carry through off the pitch there.
Yeah, they tried to go for the swing, didn't they? But unfortunately, just knocked slightly out.
I think Stella Campbell generally bowls just a little bit short of a length when Jodie Hicks, probably not as tall as Sammy Jo, quite that short length. Try and play it through that offside, particularly there's no one back there at point or cover sweeping, so a lot of vacant territory to pick up a few runs.
Here goes Campbell again, good run up, long run up, full toss, hit into the offside, straight to the cover fielder for no run. Maybe you should have put that one away being a full toss. We've got 4 fielders up in the offside there in that inner circle, 2 on the onside, and they've got a third man, wide fine leg, and a slip in place.
Yeah, your traditional field, obviously with that slip in play, expecting a little bit of movement with this brand new white ball. Try and get the edge of Jodie Hicks' bat.
Campbell again, this is a real short one, and the first run of the semi-final, that's a wide. So no wicket for one, Sydney Tigers.
Yeah, just seems to be plaguing Stella at the moment. Obviously, lots of pedigrees, played one-day international cricket for Australia, but had a bit of an injury layoff coming into this season, and it's just finding it a little bit difficult to get that rhythm back, get that line and length, but so we all know how good of a player she is.
She runs in again now, Campbell. This one on a good leg.
Oh, that is a good block.
That's tickled round the corner here. It rolls down towards fine leg. They're going to run through for a couple. One of the players has dropped their bat out there in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, I was going to
just... happening here at Cricket Central.
I was just going to say, aren't you supposed to run with the bat, not...
Correct.
Not dropping your bat?
Correct. Cricket can be a funny game sometimes, and the heat that's slipping out of the hand. There we go. So it's going to be Jodie Hicks on 2 of 3 balls. Here goes Campbell again as we warm into the semi-final. Nice little shot off the pads that rolls there towards square leg.
And they're just going straight for it now, trying to rack up as many runs as possible.
Yeah, that's right. So that was a beautiful shot off the pads, almost like Mark Moore in the 90s.
Well, speaking of that, we do have the Australia Day International Test happening at the Gabba in Brisbane.
Yep.
Australia v West Indies, which is getting underway at 2 o'clock, I believe.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time if you're listening in Queensland.
Yep. Oh, swinging a miss outside the off stump, through to the keeper, and it was a good delivery. No wicket for 5 here in the first over.
Yeah, Stella should always be someone that'll be tricky in this competition. Obviously has that extra height, that extra pace that probably 90% of the bowlers just don't have. So it's always going to be coming sort of a different pace, a different angle. And when you're not used to that, as much as I said, you can probably see on the frog box, it's there to hit. It's just something that he's probably just not used to facing.
Last ball of the first over, and it's not. In fact, it's not, because it's going to be a wide again.
You went early, Kiwi.
Yeah, going early. Australia Day. No wicket for 6. Not the first time this year.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So Abby Taylor did the toss out there as captain. Kate Jackson, the normal captain, but she should play at some stage. Maybe in the next game, you'd think, but... Oh, and that's an absolute beauty there. Beating the batter outside the off stump. So 1 over gone here. Sydney Tigers, no wicket for 6.
Yeah, I thought there was some really good batting there. But, of course, as we've said, none for 6. So let's see how it goes when it all changes over.
And Sammy Jo Johnson hasn't faced a ball yet. She's a key player here in this semi-final. She knows how to pace it, but then knows how to really speed up that run rate as well. And it looks like it's going to be Sienna Eve to bowl now with some spin. Of course, Caitlin Galliano, the wicket keeper for the Northern Districts. Of course, our home team at Triple H FM. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on Triple H and Frogbox, of course, today. And here goes Sammy Jo Johnson to face up. Right-handed batter for her first delivery. And Sienna Eve just makes a few changes to her field. Looks like she's put in a long on in place. And they've stacked on the offside with 5 fielders there.
Of course, it's not just the fielders that the batters are watching out for as well. It's also this heat and humidity. Yeah. And I know I keep saying as a pond that, you made an allusion to how cold it is in the UK at the moment. But certainly we wouldn't be playing cricket in that weather. But in this weather, this is something that they'll have to keep an eye on. All players, also coaches and the umpires as well.
Yep, and that was a left arm spin. Sammy Jo Johnson just taps it into the onside. Second ball of the over. And again, just plays it with respect into the offside.
It's a good block, though. You have to admit, that was a very good block.
It was. Very solid technique. She's been around for quite a while. And he runs in again now. Oh, and this is a beautiful shot into the onside. Had a bit of a misfield on the fence there. They run through for 1, as our volume here has gone up quite a lot with the audio, and it's going to be Jodie Hicks on strike now to face up to Sienna Eve with the left arm spin. No wicket for 7, and this one's going to be a wide down the leg side, and they're going to run through for 1, so that's actually going to be a couple of runs there. So a few wides early on here with the control with the bowlers is important.
Yeah, that's something that they're definitely doing. I'm really liking watching the control with the bowlers, and as you said, we are live streaming this across on Triple H FM,
yep,
and also streaming live over the web on Frogbox if you want to see the pictures.
Tickles it round the corner here. There's a shy at the bowler's end which hits the batter on the way through, and they'll pick up another single. As Sammy Joe Johnson just has a little bit of a stroll there at the bowler's end. She's taking her time. Very good body language out there. She's got a real good presence out in the middle, and it's no wicket for 10 here in the second over. So this is a good start here for the Sydney Tigers. They are looking for a strong start, and this is a little bit short. Swiveled round the corner to the fielder on the 45-degree angle for no run.
Maybe it was just a trick, but I thought I saw it hit. I thought I saw the ball hit the wicket, but maybe that's just a trick of the light from where I was standing.
Yep. Last ball of the second, last legitimate ball. And
that was a good shot.
Cracking shot into the onside. It's going to roll towards the fence, but it pulls up short. They actually just pick up the one in the end. And after 2 overs here, the Sydney Tigers no wicket for 11.
Yeah, they've got to a very good start for 0 for 11, and certainly as we saw there, that was a fantastic shot. I'm just a little bit curious because maybe my eyes went a little bit blurry there, but I thought I saw on one of the overs the ball hitting the wicket. So was that an out, or was that just a misfire?
If it hits the wickets, it needs to knock the bells off, so it probably didn't.
So it's just probably a misfire then.
Yeah. But here goes Stella Campbell again. So Hicks on 5 off 8. Sammy Joe Johnson 2 off 4. Good delivery here. Perfect sort of line and length. Couldn't do much with that, the batter. And she just blocks it down the pitch. Back to the bowler.
Sorry, we're just fixing some of those little technical gremlins that can happen, particularly on big days. So hopefully now, if you're listening on Frogbox through Cricket New South Wales YouTube channel and here on Triple H 100.1 FM, everything should be coming through nice and clean and crisp as it normally does.
Here goes Campbell again now to Hicks. And that one's gone down leg, and it's another wide.
Yeah, I think they would have been hoping that maybe could have caught a bit of the thigh pad or something as that one went through, but Stella's only gone for 6 off her 7 deliveries so far, but she'll be wanting to put them in the right spot, make kicks play, try and get an early wicket here for the Rangers side.
That's right, and the way they're going here, they're trying to set themselves up sort of a 130, 140 score. And this is a better one. It's just inside that wide line. Umpire says it's all good. Another swing and a miss outside the off stump. A little bit of a breeze here, but very hot out in the middle. Very hot day here in Australia. Similar to last year, the Australia Day we called here was a real hot one as well. And even the year before that as well, actually, at Coogee. So here goes Campbell again. Ooh. And that is wide. So no wicket for 13 here.
Yeah, you watch the come through on Frogbox. You see it outside that little blue line that you'll see outside the right-hander's off stump there. And yeah, maybe just needs to just not think too much about how fast it is. Just get it in the right areas. So with that extra height, we'll always get a little bit of extra bounce. So they need something big here for their international play here to the Rangers.
And that one, another wide down the leg side. No wicket for 14.
This is probably going to be the story of this over, isn't it? Will be wide. Will just be wide, wide, and wide.
Well, you see, when we're 2.5 overs in, extras make up half the total.
Yeah.
7 extras out of 14.
50%. If I did my maths correctly. Tell you what, I left high school a couple of years early. Here we go. Here goes Campbell. Another wide. It's wide, 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 as Callum would say. Let's get the signals going. Wide, wide, wide. We need to start a dance for this.
Hat-trick of wides.
Don't need to. The umpire's doing that for us already.
All right, well, maybe we can join them later.
I'm just wondering whether
the heat's getting to me early.
Yeah.
He runs in again now, Campbell.
Here we go.
Yeah, and it's played into the offside. It's not a wide, wide, wide. It's not a double.
It's offside instead.
It didn't hit the wickets, did it?
No, I can confirm that it did fly off, but it did go offside as well. And just to make things extra clear as well, there's a little minor bird flying off into the distance. So
Yeah.
Good to see where your eyes
And a
are
helicopter as well.
at a cricket game.
yeah.
But no, that'll give Campbell a little bit of confidence. That's the spot where she'll be wanting to bowl to someone as experienced as Hicks.
Nicely played to the onside for no run. Doing the fielding there was Abby Taylor, the captain, who's a pretty good batter as well. She bats up the top of the order for the NDs and can give it a good hit. No wicket for 15. Sydney Tigers batting first in the semi-final. Winner to take on Campbelltown Camden at 3:30 local time. She runs in from that 23-metre circle, and this is a nice shot into the onside.
That's a very good shot.
And they'll pick up at least 2 as it rolls towards the boundary, towards that mid-wicket area. Doing the fielding out there was Ava Ryan, and that's no wicket for 17.
So we didn't quite get a good look at the pitch before the game, but just having a look at it from up in our commentary position, as I said, just a little bit of a tinge of green, but it does look like it played well. Obviously being prepared to get through 120 overs here today, particularly on a hot day. So as I said, these should be the best of the batting conditions right now.
And again, it's a wide.
That's wide again.
Wide,
Yeah. I'm not going to
That
hear
was
the end of
a
this.
really big wide.
Yeah,
too.
I'm not going to hear the end.
pitch.
I'm not going to hear the end of this, am I?
Yeah, any fans of Stella Campbell, all thoughts of Callum Sayer are his and his alone, and do not reflect Triple H Sport or Triple H 100.1 FM.
Hey, I'm just calling it how the umpire sees it.
And how you see it as well.
Well, yeah, from up here on our perch.
Oh, nicely glided here behind point. The run through for the single, chance of a run out at the striker's end. But they get the single. 3 overs gone. Sydney Tigers, no wicket for 19.
Yeah, well, it's probably not the over they were expecting from Stella Campbell. At least the 5 wides coming out of that one. As I said, it'll be interesting to see. They were probably hoping to get some overs out of her up front, but you think they'll have to make a change from this northern or river or commentary end here of Cricket Central.
Car park end as well.
Well, we got the southern or the bus lane end, I think, is the other end. The bus is going into Sydney Olympic Park. We'll be rumbling along there later on this afternoon, I'm sure.
Yep. Great facilities here at Cricket Central, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, as I said, you go around the states and you see what they have at Allan Border and Karen Rolton, the Junction Oval in Melbourne, at the WACA. And then, as I said, with the limited amount of time Cricket New South Wales get at the SCG, to now have their own facility like this is just amazing.
Sienna Eve with the left arm spin, flights it up, drives down the ground, and gone. That's the first wicket of the day. Caught at backward point. Northern Districts get their wicket there, and a pretty sharp catch it was by Alicia Bates, and it looks like it's going to be Jodie Hicks who's the first wicket of the day. It's 1 for 19,
and we can see the water. We can see the water running onto the pitch. So, like I said at the top of the program, definitely need to keep hydrated.
Yeah, definitely a hot day for the fielders and batters alike, but it was a good bit of bowling by Eve. Just floated it up a little bit outside that off stump. Hicks thought all her Christmases had come at once, tried to hit over into that vacant cover region. Nobody out on the boundary, but maybe just a little bit of turn for Eve that Hicks wasn't expecting, got the outside edge of the bat, and it was Alicia Bates there at point that was well and truly there and happy to accept that one. So that's the wicket that the Rangers were looking for early, particularly getting rid of the experienced Jodie Hicks. But with Sammy Jo Johnson still out there, only faced the 4 deliveries, it'll be interesting to see what she has in her back pocket, because we know what she can produce.
Kara Churchland is the new batter at the crease and also the captain of the Sydney Tigers team. Right-handed batter as she takes guard. It's a nice little bit of flight there, just tossing it up with the left arm spin. And Sienna Eve gets the breakthrough. Could be a real close game. That first semi-final was pretty one-sided. Campbelltown Camden only losing 1 wicket to chase down a score in 16.4 overs. This one's a little bit shorter, tries to flick it off the pads, but it goes down to the pitch there off the hip. Caitlin Galliano tidies up the wicket keeper, who also opens the batting for Northern Districts. So here goes Sienna Eve again to the captain of the Tigers. And that's a nice little delivery, but a beautiful little sweep shot. And they should really run back for a second. No, they're just going to take the one. Tickles it round the corner there. It's 1 for 20.
I think they saw Stella Campbell there at short fine leg and knew she would have one of the strongest arms there out on the field. So, yeah, we saw that with the poor keeper Van Die's having to stretch out to get that rocket throw back. So, yeah, definitely probably not 2 on her arm.
Sammy Jo Johnson just flicks it into the onside for no run. Doing the fielding again there was Abby Taylor. So Sammy Jo Johnson 2 off 4. Kira Churchland 1 off 2. As Sienna Eve runs in again. Oh, this is a great shot there over mid-wicket. And that's going to roll for 4 towards the scoreboard. Beautiful shot there by Sammy Jo Johnson. That was the first real shot of authority. And it's 1 for 24 here in the 4th.
Yeah, that's more like it from Sammy Jo. That's what they'll be expecting the Sydney Tigers. That's why she'll be opening the batting. Try and take advantage of this. Try and take advantage of the fielding restrictions and get the scoreboard ticking over.
And that's the end of 4 overs. 1 for 24. Sienna Eve now 2 overs, 1 for 10. And that's the end of the power play, is it? 4 overs?
No, I believe in the women's game they
do the 6.
They do the 6.
Right.
We will wait and see if there is any signal from the umpire.
Anyone want to take bets on where that plane is going to?
Maybe the Gabba.
Maybe anyway.
Yeah, probably.
A few last minute tickets for the match.
Yeah. So it'll be Tara French here to come on from the northern or commentary end here. But we will say after the next over, we will have our first changing commentary.
Yep.
Looking forward to that from Hawkesbury, Sydney Sports Radio. Justin Panetta, Nick Kutniak will be joining will be taking over commentary. We're looking forward to seeing what they can bring to the table.
Here goes Tara French. Right arm bowler, medium. Whoa, and that's a big wide.
That is wide again.
And that might roll for 4 as well. It does. Yeah. So that's... is that going to be 5 runs? Is that right?
5 wides to the total,
yeah,
beating the wicket-keeper and heading down to the rope. Just maybe some semi-final nerves there from French. Just maybe a little bit of perspiration with all the humidity around and not quite going where she wanted it to, but she's going to have to come back from that one.
She bowls again now to Churchland. Just swiveled around the corner here. They will pick up pretty comfortable single. 1 for 30 here in the 5th. They're setting up for a good score here, the Sydney Tigers.
Yeah, I get the feeling that that Northern Districts are going to have to be will have to play really well when it's their turn to catch up, because this is some good innings that we're seeing here from Sydney Tigers.
Definitely is, and it's going to be Sammy Jo Johnson back on strike as she just takes her time doing a bit of gardening. She's 6 off 7. Churchland 1 off 3. Here goes Tara French again at the commentary end of the ground. Nice shot into the offside, but straight to the fielder at point for no run.
It was a good bat, but as soon as it started rolling across the ground, that it was like, you know, if they did decide to go for that run, I reckon they would have walked themselves right into a trap.
Yeah, would have been a run out. So they have the 3rd man in the fine leg in place here. And that's another wide down the leg side. 1 for 31.
Yeah, just a little bit of control problems here. They were obviously, after that expensive over from Stella Campbell, where I think it was 5 wides in the last over, they would have been looking to French just to get themselves back on track, get that ball in that correct slot outside off stump. But they still needed to sort of fire up in the back end of this innings, and boy, that's not going to help.
Yeah, another wide.
Yeah, this time just short outside off stump, outside that blue line, outside the right handers off stump, and yeah, just sometimes it just, whether you're out on the field or you're in the commentary box, just doesn't quite work out the way you want it to.
Yeah, true.
On these big days, but I'm sure Tara French, she'll fight her way through it. Just needs to get on that good line outside off stump.
That's another wide.
Another wide.
Is this going to be...
That's a hat-trick of wides.
So I just write in my little notebook here, wide again. Because this is the sixth. Because this is coming up to sixth.
Yeah. So this could really... They could look back on this and it could be the difference here with all these extras. It's 18 extras here. This is a high amount.
And there's another wide.
I think we heard through the effects mic someone's thoughts on this, but
yeah.
Might have been the bowling coach.
It is now getting an issue here for the. It is now getting an issue here for the Rangers.
Expressing his frustration.
I said French, none for 9 already, and still only
calling it as he sees
halfway
it.
through our first over.
Here goes French again. And this is a nice delivery.
That was a very good delivery.
Yeah, push to point, a very strong arm firing it into the keeper.
Yeah, that's where they'll want Tara French to bowl, just on that nice little corridor outside off stump. As I said, they got the four there inside the circle on the offside, plus a fielder down on the boundary at third in front of the scoreboard. So that's where they'll be wanting Sammy Joe to play.
Drives this one into the offside for no run. This is better. A couple of nice deliveries just outside that off stump area.
And don't forget that you can listen to this commentary on the free Community Radio Plus app. So if you have got a smartphone, make sure you download the free Community Radio Plus app and select Triple H 100.1 FM to listen to our dulcet commentary tones.
And that's a nice delivery, pushed comfortably into the onside to the captain there and Abby Taylor. She just finds the radar now, Tara French. 1 ball left in the fifth. It's 1 for 34.
Yeah, this has been much better from French these last couple of deliveries. That's where they'll want her to continue on.
And this one just pushed back to the bowler for no run. So after 5 overs here, Sydney Tigers 1 for 34. And we'll be passing it over to Nick Kutnak very shortly. As the batters just have a bit of a huddle in the middle of the field. Good start here by the Sydney Tigers. And Northern Districts here just trying to get that radar right. I'll pass it over to Nick Kutnak for the next 5 overs.
Yeah, thank you very much to you, Kiwi Mick Rainish. Always a pleasure working with you in comms on Australia Day 2024. And JP, Justin Panetta, why are we working together again? What's doing?
I couldn't refuse. Well, I should say, can I say happy birthday to the mother-in-law, first of all?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just because I thought we were celebrating it today, then we got the late message. No, we're not.
Where was the late message? As it's played down the leg side for no run. The fielder there at short fine gets to it. So here's the situation. We've had 5.1 overs so far. Churchland's on 1. Sammy Joe Johnson on 6. They're 1 for 34 here, Sydney. So the second ball, Eve comes in. It's cut back by Churchland, but the fielder there cuts it off a cover. So fielding position here, we've got pretty much, you can call it, I don't know if you want to call it a gully or a third on the circle. As Eve comes in around the wicket, and she tried to dab it forward, Churchland. She couldn't in that situation.
She gave it a bit more flight there, Churchland. Just fooled the batsman there. Sorry, Eve just fooled Churchland there. Just the run rate, just looking at, just chasing just over 130 at the moment. They will like to try and get over the 150 here, Nick.
Eve comes in. Churchland, well, appeal for LBW. I think that was high anyway, going down leg. Score still 1 for 34. The positive here for Northern District at the moment is they're starting to hold Sydney up and getting runs. Good couple of balls, but as we've mentioned before, extras have been a detriment for Northern District as again Churchland blocks this Eve delivery, 1 ball left of the over.
I could be wrong here, but I think extras is the highest score in the Sydney's thus far.
Well, I think you're close to being correct on that. We've had 19 extras. Sammy Joe Johnson on 6 at the moment. Churchland, who rocks back on the back foot, punches it through the covers. There'll be at least 2 runs there, but that's going to reach the fence. 4 runs. It's a lovely shot. It's the last ball of the over 2, and Churchland just rocks back and just plays it through the covers for 4 runs. She moves her score to 5. It's 1 for 38 after 6 overs. And, well, it's funny, JP, how we said it's a good over by Northern District. Then the final ball, they're able to hit it for 4 runs. And the run rate at the moment, not too bad at 6.33.
Well, that last delivery was just a pie. Just rocked back onto the back foot and just cuts away. It was a delicious stroke there, and not what you wanted from there from the last ball of the over, but 1 for 38 here, Nick. The pitch hasn't done much from what we've seen thus far. Early stages in this 6 over as the umpire waves the arms like he's waving them like he just don't care.
Okay, like I always say to you, can you explain to the listeners what you're talking about?
I think it's the power play, Nick.
Yeah, that's correct. I just need to explain that to you. It's going to be Abby Taylor who's going to be bowling from the broadcast end of HQ for Cricket New South Wales. It's a beautiful facility. First time I've been out here, and this is a lovely venue, and Cricket New South Wales have done a great job to make sure this happens. Sammy Joe Johnson plays it through the offside, field it long off, gets to it, be a single. Sammy Joe moves her score to 7. It's 1 for 39. It's been a few years since we've done cricket, JP, you and I.
I feel like a bit rusty at the moment here, Nick, but I like to see the 2 fielders just near our commentary box and just move just a bit further ahead as we see the ball delivered. Oh!
Appeal for caught behind, but did not get a touch of Churchland. I'll tell you now, that was just inside. It could have been very close, but that was just missing the bat.
Good flight delivery there.
Taylor comes in and swept by Churchland. Oh, it's been caught! The fielder at short finest caught it, and it was a great catch. Dive to her left, and that is another wicket. Churchland has to go. It's 2 down for 39. She tried to sweep, and I don't think that was the option, JP.
No, I think the pace of that ball just sort of didn't get enough speed on it. He sort of rushed on that shot there and beautifully caught there. And gee whiz, it's 2 for 39. Just like the 6.3. Not what you need, but it's just it was building well. And Northern Districts get that wicket. It's not a good start here.
And I think
Sydney side for the Sydney Siders.
And I think for Northern District, they knew they had to get her out. She was the player that was looking likely to get some runs if she got herself in. But for Sydney, they'll be disappointed. It's a nice catch taken too. So 2 down for 39. And trying to confirm that catch taker, I think it was Amy Cunningham. So Amy Cunningham, I just saw that on the board as well, JP. Thanks for pointing that out. She dived to her left. It was a nice catch. I know you won't be able to see it on the vision if you are watching via the YouTube page for Cricket New South Wales, but the way she's just dived to her left, it was great motion the way she did it.
Like a goalkeeper save.
So new batter makes her way to the crease. It is Rag. Is at the crease now.
I like to see French move up a bit, just inside near that circle.
Taylor comes in, Rag punches it through the onside to the fielder at long on. And it'll be a single as French throws that back. So she is on the non-strikers end now. Rag on 1 off 1 delivery. Johnson 7 from 13. She's had 1-4 in her innings. Sammy Joe is to face Taylor again. And she plays that, and the fielder at cover does stop it. Extra cover more so, and that will be no run. So, field placings, points, cover, extra cover, mid-off, long off and a long on. As Taylor comes in, it's punched through the offside by Sammy Joe. That's racing to the fence. There'll be 4 runs through the covers. Another 4 to end the over off. There'll be 2 for 44 as Sammy Joe Johnson moves her score to 11. And this is better from Sydney, but they've lost 2 wickets so far. Though I think for Sydney's perspective, as long as you don't lose Sammy Jo, because she's going to be one of the key players. It was a shame that the previous batter in Churchill couldn't get herself going, because I reckon if she stayed in for a couple more overs, I think she would have been good to go.
Just need to keep their eye in. You would think he nicked that Sammy Jo Johnson. What a great name. Just has to stay. What you say, got to stay through the whole 20 innings now. You can't sort of just get out now and could this 2 for 44. If she goes out, could be less than 100. But the way they're going with the run rate at 6.27. Yes.
Eve continues. Oh, this is a good ball. Appeal for LBW. She's not out though. She was awfully close. Rag. I think that was going high, wasn't it, JP?
A tad high, but I reckon it wouldn't be much. Thank goodness we haven't got the decision referral system, because they'd probably say somehow, some way, that could be hitting the stumps.
Oh, it was. Who knows? Actually, that's a fair comp. As Eve comes around the wicket, it was dabbed down to the onside by Rag, but no run. I think that's the key thing to note. And I've been taught when I was umpiring, when I was a little bit younger, JP, good 15 years ago. I was 2 at the time. Around the wicket, it is hard to get LBWs as Eve does come in. It's played back by Rag to Eve, who stops at no run. Score 2 for 44, but it is actually hard to get LBs when you go around the wicket. More so when it's a right-hander going around the wicket to a right-hander. As Eve comes in. It's played down the onside. Fielder there at square gets to it. Be a single for Rag. She moves her score to 2. And it's 2 for 45, Sydney.
Of course, at the current run rate now, they'll be looking at 120. I've been very impressed with these bowlers at the moment here for Northern Districts. They're quicking up this bowling pace, not giving the Sydney siders just to settle down in their creases to see Eve bowls.
And it's played to the onside for no run from Sammy Jo. She's on 11 off 16 rocks. Rag, as I said, 2 off 5 deliveries, 2 for 45, 7.4 into this game. 19 extras to note. I think that is a key stat, JP. Sammy Jo dabs that back to the bowler Eve, and the end of the over, it's 2 for 45, and actually a surprise in some regards, JP, that to end the over was a single, was a dot ball, because we have seen a couple of fours in the last few overs off the last delivery.
Last few overs, like you said there, Nick, but I just think these 2 batsmen now here, Rag and Jo Johnson, got to settle on the crease, probably occupy the crease for another till the 13th, 14th over mark. Then you've got to go bang, 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 and you've got to accelerate.
Okay, for those just tuning in via Sydney Sports Radio Network, Triple H 100.1 FM, YouTube site, as well as Sydney Sports Radio, as I mentioned, and MacArthur Sports Radio taking the broadcast today is going down to the wicket was Rag. Dot ball, it's Taylor continuing, of course. Shits off 15 deliveries, caught by Alicia Jo Bates, and Eve was the bowler, and then Churchill, as we called before, was out. Bowled by Taylor, caught by Cunningham for 5. As Taylor makes her way in, and she goes down the wicket again, Rag. It's stopped, no run. It was a bunt ball, JP, but you've got to be careful, because maybe Taylor does follow through. Quickly goes back in the bowl. Tried the late cut there, Rag, but no run.
That shot wasn't on there.
You don't think so?
Nah. I know it's crazy to sound. You should just probably let that go to the keeper.
Again comes in the bowl. Taylor, it's played back by Rag to the onside. Long gets to it. And French throws that back in, a single. Score moves to 2 for 46. Rag on 3. Sammy Jo on 11. 2 balls left of this Taylor over. Currently 1 for 7. And she comes in. Played to the onside for no run by Sammy Jo. Interesting note, JP, and we try not to be silly about these sort of things, but Abby Taylor has opted to bowl with the hat.
Sun smart.
Well, it is. It's a bit like Mo Matthews back in the day. As it's swept by Sammy Jo. This is going to bounce a couple of times to the square leg fence, and that's 4 runs. Great shot by Sammy Jo. The timing was impeccable. And I've got to say, it was a shorter ball by Taylor, and it had to go for 4.
That was just right on the sweet spot. Just went nice and low and swatted away like a bug. Magnificent shot there. Just good. Now with the run rate just trickling below under 6. I wouldn't say accelerate, but just got to try and get over 6. Here at the moment, it's currently 5.555.
JP at your best. Great to be working with you once again. So this is going to be a change of bowling too. So it looks like it's going to be Alicia Bates. So Alicia Bates will be coming into bowl. Just want to get confirmation of the score as well, JP. That hasn't updated yet. Yeah, it is now. So Sammy Joe is on 15, 2 for 50. Always got to be careful with scoreboards to make sure they are correct. As Bates goes around the wicket left arm and play to the offside by Rag for no run. That fielder there at a more extra cover position stops it. Probably between that cover, extra cover there to make the stop. Bates quickly back in, short of a length, and Rag couldn't do much with it. It was outside the off stump and way outside. A wide was called. And I think that's the right call, JP.
That was let's just say, Nick, it didn't fly out of the hands correctly there for Joe Bates.
Comes in Bates again. It's played through the offside by Rag. This will be at least a couple. It will be 4 because it's going to reach the rope. It was punched nicely through the offside and was always racing to the fence. Not more you can do with that. Again, Bates hasn't been bowling well in the early stages. She's had 2 deliveries and so far, and 2 legal deliveries at that. And it's none for 5 her figures, as this time it's blocked by Rag. A good return from Bates there, that delivery. She has to be smarter here, JP. She comes in around the wicket and it's swept again by Rag. Between a sweep and a pull, really. It would just be a single. Fielder on the fence.
You've got to have your fielders up here, Nick.
It's a deep wicket in place. It's actually between deep wicket and the start of cow corner. Fielder, it's long on. Mid-off is there. And also a fielder, it's a wideish mid-wicket as well, as a wide is caught again. That was outside off, and you know it's going to be a wide when the keeper's not going to be able to hold it either.
Well, this is so strange. Has the wind actually picked up since we started broadcasting? Or
I think so, JP. I think the wind is picking up. This is what they were talking about, the change later in the day. She's out. Well, Bates came in to bowl, and Sammy Joe Johnson tried to have a touch at it. It's been caught by the keeper, and that is a good take. Ava was in the right position. All she had to do was just take the catch, and there's the wicket, has to fall. And the score now moves to 3 for 57. And JP, you got to agree that is a great situation for this Northern District side. They needed to get the wicket before the drinks break, and they've done just that.
Well, it was great work there from the keeper. As they tell you from a kid, keep an eye on the ball, and great work there from the keeper. Just letting the ball come up, catch it right there, chest high, and let the ball just go on there. This is good stuff here from the Northern District side. It's 3 for 57 now.
Yeah, correct. 3 for 57. Sammy Joe out for 15 off 20 deliveries. And Kiwi Mick Rainish, it's been an interesting turn of events, hasn't it, in this contest, because 2 wickets have fallen while I've been in commentary. And
yep.
I suppose it's interesting to note, do you think Sydney will be happy where they are, 57, or do you think they'll be like, there should be some more runs out there for us?
I think they'd be slightly on top at the moment, Sydney Tigers, but then Sammy Joe Johnson just getting out, that's almost turned the game back to even. I think it's pretty much even Stevens at the moment.
Yeah, fair cop, JP.
I don't think the pitch is doing nothing to aid the bowlers. Like, how do you call it? The only thing I probably would have, and I know this is a really small problem I have, I would still have the fielders up. You've got them 3 for 57 now with 61 legal deliveries left. Go for the lockout punch. Get them all out for below 100. Because Mick, you've seen the first 5. We've seen the next 5. The pitch is sort of doing nothing. And as we're looking on the frog box, because you've got a station little camera on the frog box. On the left-hand side of the field, I think it's a shorter field. you've got to try now, if you're the batting side, just smash the ball.
Well, JP, if I'm looking at the wicket, right,
Yes.
and just to explain here, so we're going to go left to right. So they're not on the first wicket. They're not on the second wicket. They're on
fourth.
the second, third wicket, right?
Well, there's a lot of wickets out there, isn't
there is a lot.
There's about 12 or
15.
15.
I'm confused.
Well, because this is a very longish ground, so
It's quite a wide ground, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
yeah, it's a weird ground. Actually, to be honest, you would have thought they would have built it the other way. Like technically,
Yep.
we should be more at a point position than being behind the bowler's arm. So
should be a side-on pitch when we're commentating. Yeah.
Well, it's always good calling side on, isn't it? We love it for footy, but we hate it for cricket. Like, isn't it funny how much we really get peeved off about certain fielding positions? Anyway, Kiwi Mick, you take over. I think, JP, you're staying on in the salmon shirt, so you two boys, and maybe we might even get Callum in to call with us. So you take over. I can have a bit of a rest. Jeez, it's hard work calling cricket, boys.
I know.
It's hard work.
I know. But we've got a game after this as well, so lucky we've got some numbers. So it's going to be Alicia Bates, who's 1 for 7 off 0.5. This will complete the 10th over. And this one, a half a shout for LBW, very ambitious. Certainly not out. So we reached the halfway stage of the first innings of this semi-final. And the Sydney Tigers 3 for 57 off 10 overs.
Of course, extra currently the lean high bat at 21 here, Mick.
Yeah, that's a lot of extras, isn't it? And a lot of them are wides as well. Probably about 18, 19 wides, sort of around that mark.
Do you still think they should be looking the Sydney side at least 130, 140 to give themselves a chance?
Yeah, anything over 130 that'd be a good chance. So here goes Abby Taylor, a dance down the wicket. What a great shot here by the batter, and that's going to roll for 4. That's probably the shot of the day through the covers. Beautifully played, and that was Ava Ragg with the boundary. That was a great shot, 3 for 61.
Sounded very crisp. He knew when he hit that middle of the bat, that was just rocketing away there for 4. Great shot there from Ragg.
Yep. Flights it up again, dances down the wicket, pushes it down the ground to the fielder here at long on, and they'll pick up a single. Doing the fielding there was Tara French, 3 for 62.
Just if I'm a bowling coach, it's just a pet peeve. I still think you're going to have your long on just move further up inside that circle to sort of make the batsman play. How do you call it, Mick? Just play over the top of it. If they hit it over the top of you for 4 or 6, well, congratulations. But you know there's going to be a wicket in the next few balls.
And this is a real nice delivery. Olivia Maxwell taking strike, who's a right-handed batter. A real gusty breeze coming across. You can probably hear it through the sound effects as the captain here. Abby Taylor bowling right arm spin wearing the cap. Flights this one up, driven into the offside for no run. Good timing here by these batters.
Yeah, the wind has certainly picked up since we were last commentating. So whether that's a curse of us or something else, I've yet to be determined. But
speaking of that, the bowler's hats come flying off as she retrieves it, fires it into the bolt. No, just joking.
Also retrieving the ball at the same.
With the hat.
Also retrieving the ball at the same time, which was pretty good skills there.
Yeah. So Abby Taylor, 2.5 overs, 1 for 16. It's 3 for 62 in the 11th over. Maxwell on strike, right-handed batter, and they're going to a chance for a run out. And she is home at the striker's end. They don't get a run. And after 11 overs here, the Sydney Tigers 3 for 62.
That could have been quick. Could have been quick there, the fielder there. Just threw up to the keeper's end. It was like the old yes, no. And lucky they probably said sorry because that was never really there a single there.
Yeah.
Run rate just over 5.5. 3 for 62 here. Again, I think this is all of us here first time at this ground. It is quite McNiche.
Yeah, I've come here once or twice before last year, but it is great, isn't
beautiful.
it? It's a great ground. A good place to commentate from. Very good setup up here in the commentary box. And there's all different rooms across this viewing area of the field as it's flighted up again and driven down the ground. Alicia Bates bowling again, and a nice comfortable single there by Eva Ragg. She's on 13 off 15 with 2 boundaries. So Eva Ragg here is batting nicely. Made it 14 off 16 in fact. Maxwell 0 off 5, yet to get off the mark. Here goes Bates again. Flights it up on a good length. Driven down the ground, they'll pick up a single. Just, rotating the strike nicely. 3 for 64. And back on strike now is Eva Ragg again. Short one, pulled into the onside down to square leg. They think about a second again, but a good arm into the keeper. Ava Ryan's got the keeper's gloves on again now.
It's that whole thing, isn't it, of should I go for the run, or if I do go for the run, will I be knocked out when the ball comes back in near the wickets?
Yep. It's always sort of a judgment thing. This is a full toss and swiveled off the pads beautifully down to the boundary, and that's going to be 4 into the picket fence here at Cricket Central. Puts away the full toss very strongly there, does Maxwell. And it's 3 for 69 here. Sydney Tigers building up to a pretty good score.
I thought that was close to a no ball there, to be honest with you. It was just nearly above the waist.
Yeah, nearly full toss above the waist. And it's similar as well, and put pretty much in the same spot that the fielder at mid-wicket does the job, fires into the bowler. Alicia Bates here just a little bit loose at the moment with this bowling. And it's 3 for 70 here in the 12th over. She's ready to run in again now, does Bates. Hot day here in Sydney on Australia Day. What a drive down the ground. That is a beautiful shot for 4. Rolls along the carpet here at Cricket Central. That is a great straight drive. And a strong breeze here. Look at those trees going. And after 12 overs here, Sydney Tigers are 3 for 74.
That last shot there was just simply superb there. It was like shit. The ball was there in the right hitting zone to smash it down like it was like going down like 70 on Civil Water Road there, Nick. It's just a superb shot.
And of course one of the players deciding that they were going to try and dive for the ball, not that it made much effort there. The ball was just, it was gone.
Yeah. Great timing as a Qantas plane flies overhead here at Cricket Central.
That looks like that's going to Darwin.
Looks like it's going to Darwin.
London, most likely. London via Perth. Although when I did come into Australia about 2 years ago, I did come in via Darwin because Perth at the time was closed off due to COVID.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, let's just say I didn't want to stick around in croc country for very long.
So,
very humid.
Yeah. Jessica Galliano flights it up. It drops on the batter. Driven down the ground for no run. The Galliano sisters in this Northern Districts team. And Jessica with some right arm spin here. Good little partnership building here with the batters. Beautiful flight. Just drops on the batter nicely and pushed into the offside again. Well poised match here. We know Northern Districts have got some batting in them as well. Let's hope we get a real close semi-final here. It's the wind buffeting across the effects mic.
It is howling.
Galliano, but it's still really hot. Beautifully played through the covers as it rolls towards the boundary. Pretty quick outfield here in the hot conditions. They'll pick up 2 runs. The fielder fires into the bowler. 3 for 76.
Lovely shot there. Just really strange to say at the moment. It says 39, but I don't know, people don't like that. But the feels like temperature is 36 at the moment, Nick.
Yeah, it's hot. And goes for the sweep and bowled. And the batter is disgusted with the shot. Nice little flight there. Sneaks through the gate and bowled off stump. Beautiful delivery there by Jessica Galliano. They just break that little partnership. Sydney Tigers 4 for 76.
Galliano just it wasn't with the flight. It just went quickly off my hands.
Yeah.
And the batter just absolutely missed absolutely everything. Canned onto the stumps, and another wicket goes. It's 4 for 76.
And given that we've been talking about the heat there, you can see the water coming onto the field now, keeping them hydrated, of course, because we've been talking about you were saying it's 36 degrees, and that the humidity is probably making it feel a bit more like...
It's bearable. It's really weird to say.
It's even hot up in this commentary area, and it's probably got aircon going too.
Well, I just checked the aircon. Apparently, it's set to 20 degrees. So
20 degrees, oh boy.
That's probably as low as it's going to get.
So that was Olivia Maxwell dismissed. So Eva Ragg still at the wicket, and joining her now is Giselle Plummer in jersey number 55. So Jessica Galliano getting that breakthrough. It's interesting with the spinners how they throw it up there, and it's all about trying to confuse or get a bad shot out of the batter as well, really.
It's about using the flight and the speed.
Yeah.
And especially for the spinners. I wouldn't say it's the best day with the wind howling in and out here at Cricket Central, but it's not bad as the one of that person in the contract. He's eating an ice cream. He's eating an ice cream. Oh, no, I'm tempted now.
Here goes Galliano now to Plummer. Oh, it just drops on the batter who just dabs it to point for no run. As another plane flies overhead here at Cricket Central.
That's definitely going to the Gabba.
Yep, that one's off to the Gabba for the day-night test match.
Yep, Australia v West Indies.
Starts in about 1 hour and 50 minutes.
Well, I said it was going to start at 2.
Oh, hello! Shot down the ground and over the fielder, the captain there and Taylor, and they're going to come back 4-2. It was hit over mid-off, just backing themselves with their shots in after 13 overs. The Sydney Tigers are 4 for 78.
Well, that's what I was saying a few overs earlier. Get the batsman to hit it, try to hit it over long, mid-on, mid-off. If that goes for 2, congratulations, they're not out. But soon you will get them out just trying to hit it over the top. But 78 for 4, another 42, bless you.
Thank you.
130, the current total. I'm not sure I know 130 is okay, but it just feels like this pitch can offer a bit more. Oh!
Another full toss, smashed through that square leg area, and they'll pick up at least 1. They are going to come back for the second this time. The fielder down on the fence in that mid-wicket area. 4 for 80 the score now. Doing the bowling, of course, is Alicia Bates. She's 2.1 overs, 1 for 21, so quite expensive, going at basically 10 and over. And again, driven down the ground. The bowler takes the heat off the ball, and it's no run. Eva Ragg here, batting pretty strong.
Kiwi, a question. Don't you usually get a warnings for like the ball, like a no ball delivery over the waist high?
Yeah, you should do. And this one's hit through the covers to that fielder out on the fence, and they'll pick up another single.
It doesn't apply. I thought it doesn't that rule also apply for the spin bowls, because I know it applies for the fast bowlers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it would for spinners because it's not as dangerous.
Oh, okay.
But definitely fast bowlers. Yeah, but I might be wrong there. Here goes Giselle Plummer on strike. So Ragg is 22 off 21, Plummer 2 off 2, full toss, swept round the corner, and that's going to roll for 4 into the picket fence here at Cricket Central. Beautifully played by Giselle Plummer, and they're 4 for 85 here, the Tigers.
Well, Plummer just saw the gap and she just super glued that to the bat and just raced away there for 4.
Yeah, that's picked the gap really with no fielders round the corner. Played late here to point for no run. Fires it into the keeper. Bates, like we said, 2.5 overs, 1 for 26.
Ragg, new top scorer, just above the extras, 22 and 21 respectively there.
Plummer just leans on this one. Good fielding there at point, but they will go through for a single. 14 overs gone here. Sydney Tigers, 4 for 86.
Now they're starting to pick up the pace. Now the run rate over 6.1. They're looking above the 130 markers, which they should be looking at as a bare minimum. But if Ragg and Plummer can stay there for, let's just say, the next 6 overs, should be touching at least over 140.
Yep, 140 would be a good score here. 140 would be pretty hard to chase. Jessica Galliano back on with her right arm spin, flighting it up to the batters. It's Eva Ragg on strike.
Oh,
goes for this one.
Good.
And there's a fielder out on the fence here at deep mid-wicket, and they'll pick up a single. If it was a metre wide either side of her, it definitely would have been 4 there. And 4 for 87 here are the Tigers.
Just unlucky she picked out the fielder there. That deserved to be 4, but my goodness.
Yeah,
just picked out the fielder as Galliano bowls here.
Ragg on strike. Nice little flight drops on the batter, but just tickles this one round the corner there. Back with a square leg for another single, 4 for 88. And Plummer on strike again. Jessica Galliano, 1.2 overs, 1 for 6. Goes down the wicket, and the fielder's not going to get this one. That's 4 over that mid-wicket area. Controlled shot, the full toss gets put away. Good stuff here by the Tigers. Plummer's in the mood as well. 4 for 92.
Oh, it was a really juicy ball there. Just smacked it away. I mean, just deserved to be dispatched. It was just an absolute rubbish of a delivery there.
So Plummer 12 off 7. They charge towards the finish line in their innings. Nice little shot round the corner again for 1. 4 for 93. Goes down the wicket again, and this should be 4. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. Nearly cut off on the fence, but it's a great shot down the ground. This is good batting here by the Tigers. Eva Ragg and Plummer are in the zone. 4 for 97, 1 ball left in the 15th.
We can see this run right now accelerating through here.
Like the Formula One.
Oh yes, 6.7 now. Now the 140's now inside. This is excellent batting here from Ragg and Plummer.
Coming into the commentary box soon will be Matt Mears and Nick Kutnak for the last 5 overs of the innings. While I have a couple of waters. Much needed. Much needed in this 40 degree. Well, not yet, a bit early. Probably at about 10 tonight. They don't go for the single. 15 overs gone. And Tigers 4 for 97. And taking you through the commentary now will be Matt Mears and Nick Kutnak joining him as well. Take it away.
Well, Mears here, this is an interesting situation. 4 for 97, and I think they're probably looking to score maybe of 120, I suppose.
Well, 120 would definitely be a good starting point. I think we saw a bit of that acceleration, as JP so eloquently put it, through that last over. Obviously, they're going to have some big overs left up their sleeve here, the Rangers, to come in, but I think if they could get past that 120, maybe even up to 130 or 140, they're going to see themselves very much into the game here.
That's not a word that we use for him, eloquent. He's definitely not eloquent. That's important to note, and I do say important to note. It'll be Stella Campbell, who's bowled 2 overs so far, none for 14. She'll be coming into Giselle Plummer, who's on 13 off 8 deliveries. Ragg on the non-strikers in at 27.
Didn't quite have her radar right in the first spell. Needs to fix it up here now.
Campbell comes in. Plummer, short of a length, able to punch it through the offside. Will be a single. Fielder a deep cover gets to it. Throws it back in. It will be a single. Giselle Plummer now on 14.
Yeah, particularly that second over. I think there was about 5 wides coming for it. Just couldn't get her radar right. Was left, right of the wicket. But if she can stay there and at least set the field out towards the offside, they can at least keep that run rate down. As I said, with extra height and extra pace, it's probably something not many of the other Sydney Tigers players have faced in this season so far.
Ragg plays it down the offside. Will be a single. Well, down the onside, I should say. They're looking for 2. Ragg wants to go, and they are going, and that's good work by Ragg. She was running to the danger end. The throw came in from the fine leg fielder. Had to go to the short boundary, I suppose. Not the short boundary, but the circle to throw that back in. But great effort as Rag moves her score to 29.
Yeah, just soft hands there. Tara French down at fine leg, having to put in the big ones to really get there in there, but just couldn't cut off the 2 runs.
4 for 100. Rag tries to dab at that. It's gone past the keeper. Jeez, Ava Ryan did not take that cleanly. Drops down, and they'll have 1 bye for that. I suppose this is interesting, Measy, because that should have been just an easy regulation, take it through your mitts, but she almost grabbed at it, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe just a slower ball there from Campbell. Reached out for it, didn't come through as the speed she was expecting, but I gave the little grasp. It was only just centimetres away from that helmet that is behind Ava Ryan there.
Yeah, that would have been 5 as Stella Campbell comes in. And again, it's been dabbed by Plummer. It's going to be at least a single. Fielder at third comes across to throw it back in Caitlin Galano, I should say, or Galino. Get that right
Galliano.
Third time. Galliano. Well, it's not Galliano, it's Galino. That's how I would say it. Anyway, we'll get that right later. It's 4 for 102. We are going to be whinging about a lot of things, usually us two. Rag on 29, Plummer on 15. It's Rag on strike. Stella Campbell, still 2 left in this over. She comes in, and that's let go by Rag. No run. She was actually looking at that.
I think she was looking at the umpire, expecting the arms to go out for that one. It was near that blue line, but I think just inside. But as I said, it has been probably the bugbear of NDs and Campbell. They've been getting too far outside that off stump, but if you can keep it inside that blue line, then the umpire's arms will stay down.
I thought that was fair game, to be honest, as Campbell. Last ball of the over. Rag goes down to it, but just flat bats it to the fielder, bit off. No run, so the score is 4 for 102. Rag is on 29, Plummer's on 15. 4 overs left in this innings for Sydney.
Yeah, much better over from Campbell here. Just the 4 runs and the bye from it. And thankfully not giving up those penalty runs from the ball, just missing the wicket keeper's helmet. But that's be more like it there for the Rangers. That's what they'll be wanting to get out of Stella Campbell. She can't get the breakthrough, at least try and stay under a run a ball. But now it's going to be up to some of the fellow bowling attack. They're going to have to try and keep these runs down. We saw in the last over from this end, they tried to go the tonk down the ground. They got a couple of boundaries away, did Sydney. So, as I said, I think they'll be targeting this leg side boundary, but the Rangers, they've got 2 fielders out here at cow corner and deep mid wicket, so it's going to have to be a good hit from the Tigers.
Jessica Galliano comes in. It's been smashed by Plummer. That is just bouncing once to the fence for 4 runs. It was straight over the bowler's head. That was a great shot by Giselle Plummer. I actually stood up thinking that was going to reach the rope. It was that close. It was about maybe a couple of centimetres away.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to clang into that side screen down in front of the commentary position, but yeah, just sort of maybe just dipped a little bit. A bit of wind here. It is hot, but there is a lot of wind here as well at Cricket Central today. Maybe just hitting a little bit into that doesn't get it to the rope, but they'll be happy with that start, Sydney Tigers. 4 off the first ball, pressure goes back onto the Rangers.
4 for 106, Plummer on 19. Galliano comes in. It's a whitish ball, but Plummer's decided to go for it. The fielder at long off is coming across to take the catch, and she's just caught it. Well, I tell you what, she was just lucky to take that catch, because I swear Abby Taylor was about to drop that.
Yeah, I think, oh no.
No ball's been called.
Wow.
Well, I tell you what, I reckon that is just, if it's a no ball, it's only just.
Yeah, well, we'll see
front
if
foot.
We can see if we'll get it, even maybe for the height, even maybe. I'm not sure, but as I said, it's a disappointing result, because I said it was straight down the throat of Amy Taylor down there at long off, but. Yeah, just unfortunately there for the Rangers.
Galliano comes in. It's a fuller ball. Rag is able to punch that over the top of the fielder there. On the cover side, it will be at least a single. They'll run 2. Good running by Rag and Plummer. Rag moves her score to 31. Plummer's on 20. It's 4 for 110 as we wait for the score to tick over after 16.3. We're trying to have a look at this. I reckon it was only just, if anything, that...
I think it's one of those 50-50 calls that unfortunately for the Rangers went the batter's way.
Galliano, shorter ball this time. Rag just punches that to the onside, bounced once before the fielder came in for an Eliza Thompson, throws it back in. Be a single. Rag moves her score to 32. Plummer's on 20. It's 4 for 111. The Nelson's up.
Yeah, no English umpires or Callum here to raise the leg.
I love doing that. It's always fun. They always fall over doing it. Galliano comes in, and this time Plummer plays it to the offside. No run. Fielder there. It's a backward point, gets to it. One ball left of the, I should say 2 balls left of the over. Just waiting for the score to click over. Yeah, 2 balls left of the over to be exact. As Jessica Galliano comes in. It's just tapped by a Plummer to the fielder there at short 5. Throws it back in. It will be a single. Score moves to 112, and Plummer moves her score to 21.
Yeah, Amy Cunningham there at short 5. The soft hands there didn't quite come to her as quickly as she was expecting, letting the batters get through for a single.
Galliano so far 1 for 25 off 2.5. Last ball of the over, she comes in. This is played through the offside over the top by Rag for at least 2 runs. The fielder there at long off, and they come across to throw it back in. I'll tell you now, I'm very interested to see why they went Jessica Galliano, because it wasn't a great over by her. She was almost like lucky not to be hit as much as she should have, because I think Rag and Plummer were looking at trying to hit her a few times over to the boundary.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to make up the overs here. Particularly, as I said, with Tara French having almost the yips with her first over. 5 or 6 wides there in her first over. Hasn't come back at this stage. Maybe they're just trying to find that 4th bowler. Only the 6 bowlers used here for NDs, as it looks like we will have Stella Campbell, her 4th, here the 18th over from the southern end.
And she comes in now, and on the back foot, Plummer just stabs that down to the fielder at 3rd. Throw comes in by Eliza Thompson, and it will be a single to Plummer. Moves the score to 22. And it's 115 for 4.
Yeah, well, I said, having a look at the overs remaining for the Rangers, I said Abby Taylor, you would probably expect to bowl one of them, 3 overs, 1 for 16, but both Bates and Galliano both gone for 27 off their 3 overs. So perhaps just with French probably not being up to what they're expecting, they're just having to manage those controlled overs.
Campbell in. Rag is able to pull this. It will be only a single. Fielder at deep mid-wicket gets to it, and it will be a single to Rag. She moves her score to 35, and it is 116 for the loss of 4. I could see Callum looking at me going, you're actually saying it the correct way. Yeah, I prefer the English way of saying the score. It is 116 for 4, not 4 for 116. Yeah, well, it's actually the correct way. We're the only ones that do it differently.
Who wants to be conformist?
On that note, Campbell comes in the bowl on the back foot. Plummer just stabbed that down, and that's going to go to the boundary for 4. It was a nice late cut. She really just, I'm not going to say ramped it, but it was just tugged the bat out there and let that just go for 4.
Just let it glide off the bat. Had the right angle there. Eliza Thompson down here at 3rd was too well placed for her to be able to get across and stop that one going for 4. But they said they're really starting to tick this run rate along now. They're already at the 120 mark here with 2.5 overs left to go. Are the Sydney Tigers.
Campbell comes in, and again Plummer does the same thing, and this is going to race towards the backward point position. The fielder comes across to throw it back in. It'll only be a single. Amy Cunningham doing the job. And the score now moves to 121. Rag is on 35 and Plummer is on 27. And we'll go through the call of the card of the moment for the batters dismissed for Sydney. 2 balls left of the Stella Campbell over. None for 25. Field set up. You've got a field at point. A cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, mid-wicket. As Campbell comes in, it was down the leg side. She didn't get touched to that. Rag, I tell you, she was lucky because the wide was called, but I know Rag was looking at playing at that.
Yeah, definitely wanted to get something on it. If you can get it a bit wider, nobody inside the circle at fine leg. Big territory between the 2 fielders. Fine leg's quite fine towards the wicket keeper, and then square legs in front of the umpire. So a lot of probably at least a 2. We could have got some bat on that one.
Campbell again. 2 balls left of the over. Comes in and Rag is able to heave-hove that to the fielder deep mid. And she throws it in. Now only will be a single. Rag moves her score to 36. Plummer on 27. It's 4 for 123.
Yeah, just Campbell, I think now just trying to get through overs. Doesn't want to give away any more sundries. Doesn't want to have to bowl any repeat balls. But might just be the time, though, for the Sydney Tigers batters. I said we talked about that extra pace. I said if you can get a good bit of bat on it, he's going to fly more than the traditional bowlers in this competition.
Plummer again tried to bat that down. She was on the back foot. Fielder at extra cover gets to it. It will be no run. End of the 18th. It's 4 for 123. Plummer on 21 and Rag on 34. Just want to quickly add in regards to the call of the card for Sydney. Jodie Hicks was out for 8, caught by Alicia Jo Bates and bowled by Sienna Eve. Sammy Jo Johnson was out for 15 off 20 rocks. Caitlin Galliano, the player to take the catch, and Jo Bates, the bowler. And Churchland was out for 5. She was caught by Cunningham, bowled by Taylor. And Olivia Maxwell as well out for 8. She was bowled by Jessica Galliano. She's able to get a wicket, but I just have been interested to know about Jessica Galliano. That previous over wasn't overly flash. She's going to bowl again. Needs to be a bit over here, Mearsy.
Yeah, definitely. They've said more reinforcements. Now 3 out here on the leg side.
And she's played it down to cow corner. Bounces once before it's picked up by Caitlin Galliano. She'll throw it in.
Yeah, I think they've just gone, well, with what bowling overs we've got left, we're going to have to take the risk, but they're certainly giving her the protection. You got it's a deep long on, cow corner and deep mid wicket all out here patrolling the boundary.
Plummer now on strike. She's hit it towards long on. It's gone over her head, and that will be 4 runs. Well, she tried to get her fingers onto it, and I'll tell you what, she was unlucky, Tara French, because she nearly had that, but I guess that last moment, she just didn't get herself exactly in the correct position.
I think she did the old Cardinal sin. She was probably about 5 metres inside the boundary. Had she been on that rope, it would have been straight in the bread basket. Just a bit too eager on that one, I think.
Galliano, a whitish ball, but Plummer's able to punch that through the covers. It was a lovely shot. That is what you want to see. Plummer moves her score to 35. It's 4 for 132. Rag is on 37. And Sydney, well, getting some runs here. I said 122 would have been a fair score for them, but now it's looking likely 150 is what they're aiming for.
Well, I said, well, you've still got wickets in hand, still 6 wickets in hand, only 9 deliveries left to come. I said, when you've seen the ball like Plummer is, you just got to make hay while the sun shines.
She comes in, Galliano. That ball just lobbed down on Plummer. She was able to bat that to the fielder at, behind square. It will be a single. Great work by Plummer and Rag to run. I think that's the key thing, the way those two run, especially Rag. She doesn't care if the ball's going to the danger end and she's going that way. She's going to make the run.
I think you've just got to play the averages, and don't think there's going to be too many direct hits that are going to keep them in trouble. Just run and run hard in these late overs.
Jessica Galliano comes in, and Rag was trying to hit that. It was in the line. It was down leg side, so the umpire's going to say it's a fair delivery.
Yeah, I think it would have hit her in her normal batting position. So I think a very fair call by the umpire there.
Yeah, I agree. Don't get me started about the wide on the leg side. I have an issue with the white ball wide, the call it, as this time Rag's gone for the heave-ho, but the fielder at deep gets to it, deep mid-wicket, takes the catch, and Rag is gone for 37. It's 5 for 133, and, well, it was just a cue and collect situation to take that catch.
Certainly was. It was a good piece of fielding out there. As I said, we saw earlier with Tara French maybe just coming in a little bit too far. I think it was
Cunningham with her second catch of the game too.
Yep. She's fielded well out there on that leg side boundary, steadied herself well, and it was straight into the mitts. But you can't put anything past Eva Ray there. Had to go for it in this late stage of the innings. And as I said, there's a massive field here at Cricket Central, but probably some bigger boundaries than what they're used to here in the Women's Premier Cricket competition. Probably could have been 6 at some other grounds, but as I said, it was a great performance by Eva Rag, out 37 off 36. certainly has done her job in getting her team into that ultimate position, because as we know, in a final, runs on the board, it's automatically pressure on the Rangers when they come out to bat.
Now, I know you know the answer because we're going to see who the new bowler is for this last over. But when you have available Taylor or Bates, who are you going?
Well, I said Abby Taylor would be my go-to for this one.
Well, you are going to be right. She will come in from the, what are we calling that, housing into the ground, I suppose?
Southern or the
southern
bus lane.
The bus lane, as it's played for a single by Plummer, just stabbed that to the offside behind the fielder at point.
So taking the pace of the ball, bowling some better areas than we saw in the last over, but we don't mind the single there because getting the new batter on strike here now, as a left-hander now, is the new batter in Meglio. As they're just changing the field around here. They're still keeping a few up inside the circle though, trying to take away that easy single.
Well, she wanted a sweep to Meglio. Will be a wide because it went to the leg side, so it went behind the keeper as well. So they're run two. Meglio and Plummer making sure they get the runs they want to get. Every run is vital, as we keep on saying. So another extra. I think that's now, 26. It's 136 for 5. And well, besides the effort from Plummer, I think the extras have been playing well as Taylor comes in around the wicket, and it's stabbed by D'Amiglio, and this will be at least 2 runs, and that's going to be the case. Nearly bumping into each other too, Samira and Giselle. They're going to look running between wickets. Somebody has to pick one side, and that means the batter has to go the opposite side where the non-striker is running. Isn't that just simple?
Well, tell that to Matt Elliott and Mark Waugh.
Don't get me started. On the back foot, it's played by D'Amiglio. It will be a single. Fielder at point gets to it, but quick was Plummer. She was on the spot. That's good running. And keep on talking about how vital the running is, but it's just smart, especially for the mid-order who've been getting most of the runs today.
Yeah, well, that's it. They want Plummer to face his final few deliveries. A big gap up in front of the scoreboard.
And she tries to punch that through covers. Actually bounced off the foot of Cunningham, and that's going to go to the fence. So it's 4 runs.
That took a fairly good chunk of that foot, so it must have been hit hard.
It was better than a Renato strike back in the day. Beautiful shot, 4 runs. And wait a minute. Go! No, only joking. We don't have Caruso here, so we don't have to make those jokes.
You didn't have to mention him.
Oh, Voldemort. Junior. Anyway, Taylor comes in, and it's smashed down the onside by Plummer for a single. Fielder at long on gets to it. So score now is 145 for the loss of 5. Plummer on 42, D'Amiglio on 3. This will be the last ball of the innings.
Yeah, we'll give you some. I'll run through the tail of the tape, and we'll have some thoughts before we take a break here on Triple H 100.1 FM and all our Sydney Sports Radio affiliates as well.
Miglio plays that to the onside. Will be at least a single. They're going to look for 2 here. They're going to run the 2. No, it's yes, no, maybe I don't know. I'm sorry. Well, look, I suppose it's the last ball. It doesn't matter. But seriously, they sat in the middle of the pitch. They could have had a cut lunch, both Giselle and Samira. And it's like, who's going to get out? Well, one of us will get out. Doesn't matter. We're not going to make it. Anyway, 5 for 146. Make it 6 for 146 after 20 overs. But is he the old, yes, no? Oh, no, sorry. I don't know what we're doing.
Shake hands and everything in between for the 2 batters there. But you can't really blame them. Final delivery of this innings, and I tell you, if you're the Sydney Tigers, particularly if you tell them when we came on with these final 5 overs to go, if we get to 146, they would have been taking that any day of the week. Let's go through the Sydney Tigers batting card. Jody Hicks, the first one to go, caught by Bates off the bowling of Eve. 8 off 15 deliveries. Sammy Jo Johnson caught by Caitlin Galliano off the bowling of Bates. 15 off 23 fours for Sammy Jo as well. Captain and Kira Churchland caught by Cunningham off the bowling of Abby Taylor. 5 off 11 with 1 4 in that as well. Eva Ragg, she did her part before she was caught by Cunningham off the bowling of Jessica Galliano in that second last over. 37 off 36 with 4 boundaries in that. The other out batter was Olivia Maxwell, bowled by Galliano, 8 off 12 with 1-4 in that as well. The star of the innings has to be Giselle Plummer, finishing with 43 off 25 before being... Well, they're actually giving the run out to DiMeglio. I thought it was Plummer that would have been the one being given out, but they are...
Doesn't matter anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Lunch.
But, then it gets to Plummer, 42 not out off 24 deliveries, 7 boundaries in that, star of the show. And then, Samara and DiMeglio run out from the combination of Bates and Ava Ryan, 4 off 3 deliveries, where the Rangers let themselves down 27 extras, including 24 wides in that total. So if you take even 20 of those out, I think you would say that the Rangers would have been more happy chasing 126 than 146.
Just quickly as well, the ICC Cricketer of the Year award has been announced. The winner of the Sir Garfield Sobers Award for ICC Men's Cricketer of the Year, Pat Cummins.
Didn't they announce Usman Khawaja last night? Or
No, that was the Test Cricketer of the Year.
Different Cricketer of the Year.
Test Cricketer of the Year. The emerging
There's too many Cricketers of the Year.
And the emerging Women's Cricketer of the Year, Phoebe Litchfield, which is congratulations to her. And that Test team of the year...
They said we were here last year, called Phoebe Litchfield 99 before getting the mockers by Shane Evans.
Well, Shane Evans is good at the mockers, isn't he? And by the way, the Aussies in that men's Test team of the year, Pat Cummins, Usman Khawaja, Travis Head, Alex Carey, Mitch Stark, and Cummins gets captain and wicketkeeper Carey. And that women's side, the one-day team of the year, Phoebe Litchfield, Elise Perry, Beth Mooney as the keeper, Ash Gardner and Annabelle Sutherland. So good to note there. And the team of the year for the T20, Travis Head and Adam Zampa. Oh, I'm going. How is Adam Zampa in the team, just for bowling pies?
Well, he likes getting people out with his pies. We will get to those ND Rangers bowling figures now. Stella Campbell, 4 overs, none for 27. Sienna Eve, 4 overs, 1 for 15. Tara French, just the 1 over that went for 9. Abby Taylor finishes her 4 overs, 1 for 29. Alicia Bates, 3 overs, 1 for 27. And Jess Galliano, 4 overs, 2 for 37. Nick Kudnyak, your thoughts? Do you think the Rangers have it in them? They're obviously going to have to go hard, but the Kate Jackson missing, I think, at the number 6 or number 7 position, she's usually the one that can go big, particularly when that run rate creeps up towards the end of the innings. She's going to be a big blow, but you feel though they're going to have to get off to a good start in that power play.
Well, I suppose the big question is, Mearsy, is what is the plan? Do you go all out attack straight away, knowing that you're going to chase 146, or do you try to keep the wickets at hand for that second 10? And I think you need to do a bit of both. Obviously, it's important to keep wickets at hand, but you're chasing 146. As long as you play it on the carpet, you can get some runs, and it's going to run today. It's not like it's a wet day or anything. It's going to run, so that's going to be the positive. I think NDs can get it, but I'm probably leaning towards Sydney.
Yeah, well, don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very shortly for that run chase. ND Rangers needing 147 for a place in the grand final, coming up at about 3:30 against the Campbelltown Camden Ghosts. So as I said, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
No, it's him pressing the buttons. I'm like, oh, yeah.
comes the sun, it's going to get even hotter now.
Double bake the pitch.
Jesus.
Yes, welcome back to Cricket Central. If you're just tuning in here, Triple H 100.1 FM, sports at triplehfm.com.au, MacArthur Sports Radio, Sydney Sports Radio, or via the Cricket New South Wales YouTube channel and Frogbox. We're just about to start here in the ND's run chase, needing 147 for a place here in the grand final against the Campbelltown Camden Goats, coming up at about 3:30 this afternoon, as umpires are now making their way into the middle of the ground. The two batters for Northern District Rangers also making their way out. The Sydney Tigers in their huddle, getting ready to prepare as they make their way on the field in their defence of their 6 for 146, 27 extras included in that. There was some wayward bowling by the Rangers. They'll definitely want to make sure they can get their line and length up and running as quickly as possible. The Tigers here to take their place here this afternoon for all the glory. The Kingsgrove Sports Centre T20 Cup. First time Harry Solomon and the team at Kingsgrove Sports Centre being a part of the women's T20, as well as the long-standing support of the men's T20 competition. We will bring you that. We will bring you that presentation at the end of the day as well, where the winner will take home some prize money thanks to Kingsgrove Sports Centre. But as now everybody has made their way out in the middle to take you through the first 5 overs, joining me in commentary, Callum Sawyer and Ball by Kiwi Mick Reinish.
Thank you very much, Matt Mears. Yes, so the target, 147 here for the Northern Districts. Opening up will be Caitlin Galliano, right-handed batter at the striker's end, and Tara French at the non-striker's end. Nell Bryson-Smith to open the bowling for the Tigers. And 146 is a very good score in this level. I think they're definitely the favourites here, the Tigers. Early Kiwi Viz, I'll go Sydney Tigers 68, Northern Districts 32.
Yeah, I think
you're throwing it out there.
You're on to something there. Well, as I said, they're going to have to start here well. The Rangers, as I said, you're not going to expect so many sundries here from this Sydney Tiger side. So no Maitland Brown, who we saw 2 weeks ago on our Sunday live coverage, doing well with the ball. So there's going to have to be a few of the other bowlers stepping up to make sure that they make as hard a work as they can for the Rangers.
So first ball here of this run trace, winner through to the final, which is after this match. Left arm spin, flied it up, half a shout for LBW, very ambitious, no run.
Yeah, just going down the leg side there, we see from our commentary position. It's a good start though. Don't want to make sure no free runs are given away early here, particularly in the power play.
Left arm spin, driven down the ground, over the bowler, fielded it mid-off. Bit of a juggle there. Doing the fielding was Giselle Plummer. No run again. They're going to have to start fast here, Northern Districts. They can't really muck around with a slow run rate with this target of 147. So strap yourselves in for this one. Here goes another delivery. Really clogging up the batter there for no run.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of blocks, aren't they, at this moment in time? Just trying to, I guess, lull the Sydney Tigers into a bit of a false sense of security.
Yep.
Now, interestingly, since the last time we spoke, the clouds have actually begun to break here at Cricket Central, and you can see the blue sky coming through. And I have it on authority that the temperature here has just hit the 40-degree mark. So, boy, is it hot out there.
Very hot conditions. That was another dot ball there. So this is a good over here by the Tigers. Oh, and that's nearly through. 5 dot balls in a row. It was an absolute wide-a-thon by the ND's bowlers, and this is good tight bowling to start. As we just wrap up the first over with this delivery. This is more like it. Here goes Bryson Smith. Right on the spot again, driven to mid-off, and it's missed, and this is nearly going to roll away for 4, just pull up short, but they will pick up a couple of runs. So 1 over gone here. Northern Districts no wicket for 2, the target 147.
Yeah, lightning fast outfield here at Cricket Central. We saw that a couple of times when Sydney Tigers were batting, just the odd little misfield, maybe taking the foot instead of the hand, and it would still run away for 4. So the Rangers need to know that. As I said, it was just unfortunate from Plummer there at mid-off, just got away from her there a little bit, but once it got past her, said, the opportunity for 2 runs, not what you would normally see in this competition. It's like maybe if it gets past, there might be 1, but for them to be able to come back for 2, good game awareness there by the Rangers. But as I said, a good start there. Only 2 runs off the first over, and then here with Sammy Joe Johnson, the New South Wales representative, to come in here for the second over. They're certainly making it as hard as possible here, the Tigers, for the Rangers to get away.
Yep, Sammy Joe Johnson, of course, opens the batting and the bowling for the Tigers. Tara French to actually face her first delivery. Also a right-handed batter. They do have a slip in place here, and a third man and fine leg, and all the rest of the field is up inside that circle. She runs it now from the commentary end, does Sammy Joe Johnson, right arm bowler. Right on the spot, but pulled away through mid-wicket. They'll pick up an easy single, and it's no wicket for 3.
I said you can hear that wind in our effects, Mike. It said even with the hot temperatures, it is still very, very breezy. You said if you are watching the vision through Frogbox, you can see on those trees if the field is, well, it's not zoomed out enough, but if it was zoomed out, you would see the trees still blowing around very briskly in this breeze. So it's going to be hard for the batters to see. It's obviously going to assist with the swing. You can even see Sammy Joe's ponytail off to the left, with how breezy it is.
She bowls again to Galliano. Gone for it. This is a chance. And an easy catch. Sammy Joe Johnson raises up the hand like Rocky, the arms, and Galliano is gone. Trying the pull shot, goes straight up. And look at the Sydney Tigers. They're up and about here. It's 1 for 3.
Or 3 for 1 if you're, depending on what side of the world you come.
New Zealand and England, we'd call it 3 for 1, wouldn't we?
Yeah, indeed. It's.
I've been roped into this Australian commentary stuff. I enjoy it, but
well, I'm still going.
The way of saying it.
I'm still going 3 for 1, but then of course there's still a bit of pomminess in me that needs to be struck out by you Aussies.
Yeah, Mr. Bank Holiday.
Yeah, it is a bank holiday.
More than banks have holidays, but it was a good piece of bowling by Sammy Joe. It probably wasn't quite there to play the pull shot. It probably just ducked away a little bit with the wind and caught the top edge of the bat, and it was a good catch there from the first slip. Going back on that one, had to probably backpedal about 10 metres or so. That's the start that the Sydney Tigers would have been looking for, and just making it a little bit harder for the Rangers. They would have wanted to keep those wickets in hand.
So it's going to be Alicia Bates, the new batter at the crease. Sydney Tigers, they just always had a pretty good run rate when they were batting, helped by quite a lot of wides. But this target of 147 is looking quite far away early on. They're going to have to get things going, as Alicia Bates is a left-handed batter taking guard now. And they keep the slip in place. Pretty much the same field here. Seems to be getting hotter and hotter here at around about 2 o'clock Sydney time. So here goes Sammy Joe Johnson now. And that one, a no ball. So that'll be a free hit here.
Yeah, free hit for the new batter. You probably, if you do want to have to bowl one to someone that's only faced one ball, hasn't quite got her eye in. But yeah, I think Sammy should just be a little bit disappointed in that. It was a good delivery, just not giving the new batter any width, just having to play the forward defensive shot. But Bates now, will be interesting to see how she takes on this free hit delivery.
Yep, so anything could happen here as Sammy Joe Johnson runs into bowl. And a swing and a miss, bit of a slower ball there, deceiving the batter. Not a bad option. Another dot ball here.
I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it looks like the live stream on Frogbox has just turned to a blue screen of death.
Oh, okay.
We didn't touch it. It wasn't us.
Yeah, that's what they all say, isn't it?
I blame Kunyak.
So here goes Sammy Joe Johnson again. And a beautiful shot here, backward a point, and that is going to rocket away to the boundary. What a cracking shot. That is beautifully played there by Alicia Bates. And it's 1 for 8. What a great shot, splitting the field on the offside there, Callum.
Yes, indeed, and I thought that was a magnificent shot as well. Interesting to see some of the fielders attempting the dive technique. Not that it works in football, and we are now 8 for 1.
Yep, 8 for 1.
Or 1 for 8, depending on which way you want to go to.
She's going to switch around here to go right arm around the wicket to the left-handed batter. They've dropped a slip out, who will come into that onside of that mid-wicket sort of area. That's what they need to do. They're going to need to get some boundaries here, especially in the first 6 overs when the field's up. As Sammy Joe Johnson runs in again. And it's beaten outside the off stump. A little bit of swing away there to the left-handed batter.
Yeah, good with the conditions as they are to get the ball to swing like that, particularly to the left-hander. As I said, we've seen lots of Sammy Joe playing for New South Wales over the years. We know how good of a bowler she is. But as I said, you'd be the conditions that they are. The batter would be expecting the ball to come in and then try and play over that leg side. But if it goes away, just creating another wicket-taking option.
Here she goes again now to last ball of the second over. Just guides us away to that third man area for a single. So 2 overs gone here. Northern Districts 1 for 9. 147.
Yeah, that wind is definitely, you can definitely hear that wind over the effects mic, can't you? And it's a very warm breeze as well. I think we've been saying throughout the day, you know, they've got to keep hydrated down there, otherwise fatigue's going to be setting in pretty quickly.
Yep.
And you got to think well, the winners of this game have to play again pretty much as soon as this match ends as well. So, as I said, there's no rest for the wicket in this one. So, as much as the Tigers, they'll want to restrict the Rangers to under their total, but they know they need to leave something in the tank for that next game coming up later this afternoon as well.
Nell Bryson-Smith to bowl her second over, and of course it's Alicia Bates on strike, left-handed batter. She's 5 off 5, runs in and bowls. Nice length ball, can't put it away. Cuts it behind that point area for no run.
Yeah, it's been bowling really well in this competition, Bryson Smith. Just so hard to get away.
She runs in again, left armour. Bit of a hoik shot through mid-wicket. And she'll find the fielder on the boundary. Very good arm into the bowl. It's steady stuff. 1 for 10.
Yeah, they have to get a bit inventive now here, don't they? You said you can't just let her bowl 5 dot balls in an over. You need to start really taking advantage of these fielding restrictions in these first 6 overs and maybe just get a little bit inventive as well.
Tara French on strike. Oh, she's played that late, but it's gone through that third man area. They'll pick up 2. Doing the fielding on the ground there was Jodie Hicks.
That's out.
And it's a run out at the striker's end. Unbelievable stuff. What a great arm. That's a wicket there.
That's 2 for 10.
And it's 2 for 11 now, because they'll get the first run counted.
Yeah, it certainly will. It was a good throw from down at third by Jodie Hicks. Said French just looked like she was struggling to get there. Had to pull out the big dive in the end, but it wasn't enough. And the Sydney Tigers really are up and about now. 2 for 11 here.
Yep.
The perfect start from the Tigers, but the Rangers have said they're going to have to dig deep now. They got the pressure of trying to keep up with that run rate and also stop these faller wickets as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what the new batter for the Rangers can do, because, as I said, with still having those fielding restrictions, you need to make sure you take advantage of those, particularly when you've got such a quick outfield as we do here at Cricket Central. As I said, you can turn those 1s into 2s, those 2s into 3s, because, as I said, the ball's not really stopping as much as you get on maybe a more traditional, one of the more traditional grade grounds around Sydney town. So, as I said, they're certainly not out of it yet, the Rangers, but they're going to have to work really hard now to try and get themselves back into this game, the Tigers.
Yeah, perfect start. And their discipline with their bowling has been far better than what Northern Districts was. Abby Taylor, the captain, comes to the wicket. Left-handed batter taking guard. Captain today for this match, because Kate Jackson was unable to make the match on time. So Abby Taylor's really going to have to play a captain's knock here. We've seen a couple of times this year, she's put in some great innings though. As Bryson Smith just puts it on a good length and plays it into the offside for no run.
Yeah, well, that was my thoughts exactly, Kiwi. I mean, we've seen some big innings for her and her getting her team across the line. I think it was that last game before Christmas at Asquith.
Yep.
Had that big 50 run innings that really got her team home.
Oh, what a nice shot here off the pads as that rolls on towards the boundary. They'll pick up at least 2, and it's about 5 metres short in the end, and they'll settle for a couple here, and it's 2 for 13.
And while we're watching this game continue here at Cricket Centre, it's worth noting that international cricket will be starting very shortly with Australia v West Indies up at the Gabba in Brisbane.
Just under an
got
hour.
England and India as well.
Yeah.
Well, no prizes for guessing who I'm cheering on in that game.
And this is pushed into the offside for no run. And after 3 overs here, Northern Districts 2 for 13, the target 147.
Yeah, well, we'll try and keep you updated on those games as we go along, but...
There's also a Super Smash semi-final today. Canterbury against Wellington. Winner plays Auckland on Sunday. So that's a big game. That started at 2 o'clock. Would have just started now. We might even do round the grounds on that.
We'll definitely keep an eye on it for you, Kiwi Mick.
Yeah.
Proud Wellingtonian.
Go the Firebirds.
Proud Wellingtonian that you are.
I thought he was from Auckland.
Tom Latham and Henry Nichols playing for Canterbury in that match. Matt Henry. Wellington will have some good players as well. Ravindra. So there's some good players playing. Here goes Sammy Joe Johnson. Oh, and this is nearly played on. Plays it onto her pads for no run as just a little bit of cloud covers that sun at the moment.
Yeah, trying to play that expansive drive. It was out there to be hit, but is that nobody on that cover boundary. If you can beat the infield, it's going to be runs. But yeah, just unfortunately for the Rangers, just not coming out of the middle of the bat, off the edge, straight into the pad.
So Sammy Joe Johnson again. And this is put away. Swings it around the corner to that backward square leg position. They're only getting it 1 though. Fielding out on the boundary. Some big fielding on the boundary today by both teams. 2 for 14.
So they're doing well here. The Sydney Tigers. They've set the field well. Sammy Jo, so much experience bowling to her field. They know with her bit of extra pace, they can have the fielders back at third and fine leg. They don't need to have the sweepers out at mid wicket and cover. So it just makes it a little bit harder. The batters will be probably trying to hit it a little bit harder as well to try and find those gaps and could create some more wicket opportunities.
Taylor on strike, guides it to third man. Beautifully played. But there are 2 for 15 here. And this run rate though with this target is just a little bit below par. Maybe they're just trying to steady things up again to accelerate. 2 for 15 after 3.3. Alicia Bates 7 off 9. Abby Taylor 3 off 4. Sammy Jo Johnson 1.3 overs 1 for 9. Runs it and bowls again. Beautiful delivery. There was a first slip, they would have caught that. And they'll pick up a single to third man on the fence. 2 for 16.
Yeah, just good areas there from Sammy Jo. Takes the outside edge, but you know, in these T20 matches, no slip. But as I said, good field position. They can only really keep getting singles here, but they need more than that, the Rangers. They need to break this run chase open.
Yep. They need some boundaries here. Look at the radar here. This is far better bowling here, the Tigers, than NDs. NDs were bowling so many wides in that first 5 overs in that we had in the first innings. We were saying the old wide call, but the Sydney Tigers are showing here that you need to bowl, you know, cut down those wides. They're outplaying them at the moment. She runs it again here to complete the second over with Taylor on strike. Just guided here back with a point for no run. 4 overs gone here. Northern Districts 2 for 16. The target 147.
Yeah, another good over there from Johnson. Just using all her experience there. You talk about those wides. They wouldn't have been expecting that, particularly from Stella Campbell in the first innings. Really just let the Tigers get away and off to a good start. And as I said, it's been the polar opposite here from the Tigers. Just kept it so tight. Hard for them to really build any momentum into this innings. And as I said, only going at 4 and over so far. Tigers will take that any day of the week. But they really need to start building up this run rate here, and as we get the first bowling change from the southern end.
Yep, Kara Churchland, the captain, comes on wearing the shades with some right arm spin. Chance of a catch, just wide of the fielder. They'll actually pick up a single in the end. Bates races through, but whether it's spin or pace, they've really giving pretty much no loose balls here. Everything's pretty on the spot. Churchland again, now bowling to Taylor. Guides it back with a point for no run again.
Yeah, straight to Jodie Hicks there at point. Definitely no single here, but we know with someone like Abby Taylor, she can make it up at the back end, just needs to get her eye in, but as I said, just bowling too well now here are the Tigers.
And again, this is just popped into the offside for no run, hitting the splice of the bat. She's 3 off 8 here, Abby Taylor. Bates 9 off 11. Another tidy over here. Goes for it, over the bowler, but good fielding there by mid-on. He'll cut it down to a single, 2 for 18.
So at the end of this over, we'll get Nick Kutnyak and JP back into the commentary.
Yep. As she runs in again. Again, beautifully flighted, just driven down the ground for no run. Last ball of the 5th over. This has been impressive stuff here by the Sydney Tigers, looking to make that final. After this match, that is. Beautifully played through the covers here. And they'll pick up a single. So after 5 overs here, the Sydney Tigers are 2 for 19 as we bring in Nick Kutnak for the next 5 overs.
And Kiwi Mick, it's an interesting situation, as you mentioned, with Abby Taylor on 3 and Ashley Jo Bates on 8. And the run rate currently is at 3.8. And JP, I think this is okay. Now, yeah, they've lost 2 wickets, but 19's not bad at the moment.
Not bad at the moment, but you probably want to see Taylor and Jo Bates be at the crease around that 13th, 14th over mark to get that run rate accelerating, like we saw with the Sydney side, who accelerated their run rate in the last 5 overs.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like the pitch has offered much for the bowling side. Maybe I'm just looking at it that way at the moment.
It's a fair point you raise about that, as we're going to see a change of bowling. Eva Ragg will be the player to come in from this broadcast end, or the river end.
The Parramatta River end.
Yes, smells better than the Yarra. Alicia Jo Bates to face Ragg, who comes in. It's a whitish ball, but she got a touch to that Bates. It'll be at least a single because it went past the keeper. And she just got back to that. It was only just that. They've got to call wide, so it didn't even get a touch. I thought there was a touch, but it was wide.
I thought there was a touch too.
Yeah. It was one of those, I thought was the inside the line, but now that, you know, the blue line's the focus, but I thought that was inside the line of the batter. Anyway, Taylor faces the next delivery. She tries to reach, and that was wide-ish, but inside the blue line. So,
just a question. You know how the fast bowlers will get the 2 warnings for the fast no ball above waist height?
Yep.
Do spinners get that warning or not?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. Technically, they're not trying. Well, it's an interesting one. As she comes in again, Ragg, and that is wide again. It's been caught, and Abby Taylor did the right thing to lead that. Yeah, I'd have to look that up, JP. Not sure.
Because if it applies to fast bowlers, I know the spinners are not going to decapitate the batsman, but well, let's be frank. It should. One rule should apply to all.
Technically, you're right, but technically. Ragg comes in around the wicket this time, peers it in to Taylor, just plays it off a hip. It'll be a single as the throw comes in, and it was always going to be making ground Abby Taylor, but it was a good throw. I reckon just an inch. Yeah, JP, you're pointing.
2 for 22.
Oh, you had to add that, didn't you, JP? Yes. 2 for 23 to be exact. As Rag comes in around the wicket. It's played and missed by Joe Bates. I tell you now, Alicia Joe Bates actually had her bat hanging there. It missed by probably a couple of centimetres.
It was like begging to be nicked.
I'll go with that, JP. I'll go with that.
It was just hanging there like a hook, sink the line to catch a fish.
3 balls left of the over. She comes in, Rag. It's played over the top of the fielder, a point by Joe Bates. They're going to run for 2, but this may reach the rope. No, it's about 3 inches short. And they've run a couple there. It's good running between Bates and Taylor. That's 2. Score now 2 for 25. Bates is on 12 and Taylor on 5.
I was just about to say, I think Taylor and Joe Bates will probably look assessing at the halfway mark. We should be around the 70 or 80 mark and start accelerating from the 10th over on.
So that's outside off, way outside off, a wide called. And that is, I think, the 3rd wide now from Evil Rag from this first over. Extras now starting to accumulate. As it's 2 for 26, 5 extras. Rag's got to be careful. And she's now gone around the wicket, like we said before, and yeah, they were still wide. Anyway, she comes in again, and this is played and missed by Joe Bates. We have got 1 ball left of the over. It's 2 for 26.
Still getting that good pace there to the keeper. Probably you want to see Rag just probably mix up the pace and length. Like, I know, probably with this final delivery, make it a little bit tactful around that 4 or 5 metre mark as she comes in from the Parramatta River end.
It's Rag, and it's a fuller ball, and Bates plays it straight to the fielder at point for no run. End of the over, it's 2 for 26 after 6. JP, of course, we are going to see the Ghost in the final play the winner of this one, Northern Districts or Sydney. The Ghost won quite comfortably, 9 wickets to spare. So they won by 9 wickets. And JP, just looking at the players for this Camden side that played this morning that we expect for the afternoon, Sarah Coit and Lauren Cheadle.
Okay, if I remember Sarah Coit, former Sydney Thunder player.
Yeah, she played for a couple of teams along the way. She was at the Strikers at one point. And her brother played for the Thunder as well, Scott Coit, who, let's just say, Sarah's a better bowler.
Didn't Scott win a BBL title with the Thunder?
I think so, as Churchland comes in from the bus lane end, and that's a wider ball, but not called a wide. Taylor was thinking of touching it, then opted not to, pretending she was going to play another shot as Churchland comes in, and this time she goes for the hoik. Taylor goes past the fielder there at a mid-wicket position. It bounced towards the deep mid-wicket who came across for it. It's only a single. Score now moves to 2 for 27. Taylor's on 6. And Joe Bates is on 12. Alicia Joe.
The ball just landed on an eye on their free. Fielder's trying to take it, but just landed in between of them.
She rocks on the back foot this time, Joe Bates, Alicia Joe Bates, but does not get bat onto it. No run. Keeper in Alexandra Timms just doing the right thing and just taking it. As Churchland comes in, this time she sweeps again but misses everything. Alicia Joe Bates, AJB. Good innings thus far. Yes, I know it's more conservative, 12 runs off 18, or 19 to be exact, but they're going to keep the wickets in the bank for the closer. We're going to have, okay, what's happening here?
Just drinks?
Now, I don't know what the situation is, but I think they're calling.
The ball
must be. They're going to look at the ball. This is weird. Everything just stopped and drinks were called out.
I know this is a rugby league sort of thing, but I'm seeing head. I was about to say concussion.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out what's happened here because this is a weird thing. So, unless they're looking at the helmet, because now one of the Sydney players are fixing the helmet of the ND player.
We didn't see nothing.
Yeah, well, everything just stopped. That's why we're in a bit of a myth here. Everything just stopped. It was quite awkward. I've got to say, JP, it was quite awkward, this whole matter.
Well, we can say that nothing... How do you say it? Like,
I don't think there was anything malice.
yeah.
Strange.
Well, we know the weather conditions outside are just touching 40. Some players...
Well, it is getting hot. I've got to say, I was out there before, JP, and it's that muggy hot.
The humidity and stuff, yeah.
It's going to be affecting the players.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these players are feeling a little bit, like, sort of that, having that dizzy spell.
But that was just weird, wasn't it,
Yeah.
JP? Like, I was like, what is going on here? Hard to work out. As I said, we are far away. There's two balls left in the over too, so that's why we're a little bit confused going, well, what are they called?
Because I thought it would be during breaks every 10 overs, which makes sense.
Which is fine, but as I said, the oppressive conditions at the moment is... This time it's played by Joe Bates, and they're going to run as the fielder mid-off throws it in, and it's run out. That is a good throw. I thought that was Harry Carey, to be honest, to run. Alicia Joe Bates was running after she hit that. She hit it straight to the mid-off fielder. And she has to go. That was a good throw, direct hit. And it was never going to miss, JP. Never going to miss.
It's like you said, that single wasn't really there, and there was a... How do you call it? Both right. That should have been just a no. Just a quick, firm no, because that single wasn't really on. She just picked up the ball and just... I wouldn't say casually, but had all the time in the world just to aim it at the stumps, and Northern Districts...
Well, Olivia Max...
27.
Yeah, sorry, JP. Olivia Maxwell, though, what about the throw?
It was just... It wasn't like rapidly quick. It was just cool, calm and collected.
You almost... It's funny to say this, but you almost need to slow down in those situations to get the direct hit. And she was out by maybe a couple of foot. Like, it's hard to tell from our vantage spot, but still, what a great effort.
It was... I don't like to say the word ease, but she made it look really easy. Because in that situation, when you're trying to look for those run-out opportunities, you just know it's there. They've got to go, boom, at the stumps, and yes. Well, Maxwell, again, it was just outstanding work.
So, brings to the crease now the new batter in Eliza Thompson. Churchland comes in, and the game played by Taylor for no run. I know, JP, you're thinking the joke as well, as at the end of the over, it's 3 for 27. What joke do you think I'm going with here? Well,
I was thinking of Joe Taylor in the streets.
No. I was thinking about Eliza Thompson, and when I said it, the first thing I thought was, hi, my name's Eliza Thornbury. I don't know why, but I went there. Hi, my name's Eliza Thornbury. The Thornburys, what a great show. And can I just say, how good is it to see Nickelodeon now on free-to-air television?
Thank you, Foxtel, for not giving it.
And it's Nick at Night.
Yes.
Have got Friends.
Yes. I never remember that as a CBS show. It's definitely
no, but I think it's a weird contract in Australia. It's just like how the wrestling now, they've signed that big deal for Monday Night Raw on Netflix, but it won't be on Netflix in Australia.
Yeah.
It's such a strange
contract deal.
Because
actually, our deal, because we've got so many streaming shows, is like, because Ted is on binge, but it's on like Peacock in the States. I'm going, how come I can't watch Ted? But like, actually, that's probably one of the shows I would like to be watching is actually Ted, to be honest with you. I haven't seen the movies, but it's right down my alley. Yeah,
it is definitely down your alley. As Rag now coming in, start of her new over into Webber, who's punched that through for no run. I've got Eliza Thompson, but it says Webber on the board. We'll go with the board. I had Thompson down as 9, but it is Webber they're showing on the board, so we'll go with that.
Remember, you smile and nod.
Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, right, because I'm just looking at the numbers I've been given. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because that's played to the onside for no run. Stopped by Powell at mid-on. Yes, that's definitely Webber, so Thompson will be coming in later. Geez, numbers. You know, numbers get me sometimes when they're wearing the wrong numbers and all that situation.
We've learned that from rugby league, Nick.
Yep, all too well. Next ball by Rag is played by Wheeler for no run. Straight to the field at mid-off.
It's like they changed numbers 20 minutes into the game. Oh, you're probably kidding me.
Yeah, well, yeah. So in place for Sydney, fielding-wise, they've got a third right at the scoreboard. Points. More of an extra cover. Mid-off, mid-on. Mid-wicket in place. And also deep wicket as it's played to the offside. Just dabbed down behind point. And the fielder at third gets to it, but a single for Wheeler to make her score 1 off 4. And it's 3 for 28. Taylor now on 6. That field, as I said, they're not running a square. They're running a fine leg too, which I find interesting. You're going to have a third and a fine leg. I think they're a bit of a wasted situation unless you got a plan to get a wicket, but you're not going to go short, are you?
It's like a nothing ball to get a wicket.
Rag around the wicket. Taylor punches that to the offside, but a fielder point stops at no run. Yeah, I find that interesting. I do find that interesting with that field set up at the moment.
Don't you think, though, if you're Sydney, right, you've got to look for the 7 wickets? Even though they need 119 to get, which at the moment these two batters, and Taylor and Webber.
And it's played and missed by Taylor again, but that was nicely bowled by Rag. She got that short, but there is a nick there. And that's the end of the over. It's 3 for 28. Up to 8 overs. Nicholas Kutniak and JP with you on the Sydney Sports Radio Network. Triple H 100.1.
And the old front box has got us the blue screen of death.
Well, we'll explain that in a second. I think you are listening to us, but no vision yet. They are sorting that out. Also on MacArthur Sports Radio. I was about to say Macquarie Sports Radio. JP. MSR. And Sydney Sports Radio Network, of course. The home of sport in 2024. You'll be hearing quite a bit on Triple H as well as Hawkesbury Radio Online. And also MacArthur Sports Radio has started the new over by Churchland. And Webber just stabs it and the fielder behind point gets to it. Just a single. Throw came in from Samira D'Amiglio, or D'Amiglio, I should say.
The run rate at the moment for Northern Districts, Nick, is at 3.6. I feel like they're going to push it up just around 5-ish.
Yeah, I was just going to say 5 and over is what you want to be at, roughly. The other thing too, I think they were, 57 after 10?
Yes.
Sydney? So the NDs need to be better. There's no question about that. There's Church on in, and it's played by Taylor to the offside, no run. See, this is the other thing too, JP. It's all well and good to keep your wickets in the bank, even though they've lost 3. But you might have to start charging some of those, especially if it's... She comes in again, Church on. It's played to the onside by Taylor. Fielder mid-on gets to it. Throw comes in, but they're never running. Especially if you've got a bowler bowling over the wicket to a left-hander, and the left-hander has to reach anyway. If you're bowling whitish to the offside, as it's cut by Taylor, but there's no run. Point throws it back in. Again, they're looking to run it. It's yes, no, yes. They're going to run anyway, overthrows. Just a single there for Taylor. She moves to 7, but Claire Webber has to be more decisive. If you're going to run, say yes.
Mm-hmm. Can't have the hesitations.
It's the thing you're going to be mindful of when you're batting. Like, just be decisive. That's all you have to do. Just be decisive. Church on. 2 balls left of the over, and Webber decides to smash this towards the mid-off boundary. Bounces a couple of times. Long on gets to it. Throw comes in. And they only run a major single.
I know I'm a bit picky. That should have been at least 2.
Yeah. Well, you're going to run that first hard, so you can enable the second. Last ball of the over. Churchland comes in down the leg stump and missed everything, and the umpire says wide. It's a good take by Alexandra Timms as well. Timms was able to get onto the ball to stop it. But the wide was called. 3 for 32. One ball left of this over. We'll get to the scoreboard in a second, JP, because I can see the same thing as you. As Churchland, short of the length, comes in, and Webber, or Taylor should say, was punching it to the offside, but there was no run at cover, stopping that off. End of the over, it's 3 for 32. Now, JP, I saw this earlier before, and it sort of confused me. So, even though it's a wide,
Yes.
it counts up on the scoreboard
Yes.
as a delivery.
Yes.
So, I was like, wait a minute,
Why
it says 8.6.
Yes.
So they must count that.
When did we go to 8 ball? When did we go back to 8 ball deliveries in and over?
I love those. You know what we need to bring back, JP? I've been watching a bit of it. Well, actually, I only watched 2 games of it because it's only available 2 games on YouTube. My YouTube, by the way. Sportscaster 91. Beach cricket. We need that back.
I knew this was going here.
We need beach cricket back, JP.
Well, we do have a cricket channel. It kind of makes sense.
You know what? Why don't we cover it? We'll go to Manly Beach on the weekend and call some cricket. As Aris comes in the bowl, this is outside off, and there's a bit of a nick on that. There was a nibble. And Webber's gone. Aris, her first delivery, and it's a wicket.
Just went fishing. To be fair, the delivery wasn't really there. The pace for it may have fooled her. I said, you may have got a drift, but the shot wasn't really there, Nick. Just went sort of like half and half, and going, well, you know what? I'll just have a fish outside of it, and they're gone, and it's 4 for 32, and well, they're really in a world of trouble now here, the Northern District side.
That was a disappointing end to that play, really, or that innings for Webber. She was looking to start to get herself in, and she tries to cut that, and it was across the line. It was just not the right shot. It wasn't the right shot.
It just wasn't. I know, it wasn't like a place, like a shot to cut. If you're Webber, wouldn't you just sort of try and walk down the crease and?
No, you know what that is? That is late cut. I reckon that's more rocking the back foot cut.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been the shot. Wasn't. Disappointing though, because now it's 4 down for 32, and it looks like Northern Districts might be saying sayonara to the final. It might be Sydney and Campbelltown and Camden.
Well, in theory, the run rate is probably touching 10. 10 runs and over. Geez, you really need Taylor to at least stay there for the majority of it.
Well, we said before, if you can get the 50, it'll be okay. Now, the aim is basically at the 40, but even still, that's 107 to chase. Just the tie.
And the only thing that is helping Sydney at the moment is the extras is at 6.
Yeah, well...
No, we're not taking the P155, but when your extras was over, I think just above 25 plus, that don't...
27, JP. There was 24 wides in that innings. 1 no ball, 1 leg by, 1 by. So 24 to 27 were wides.
That don't win you many cricket matches.
Well, you want to know how many wides we've had in this game thus far?
20? No.
We've had 29.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, we had 24 in the previous innings, 5 in this one. We've had 29 wides.
29 wides.
Just to add insults into this contest, I think 2 no balls, JP. That's pretty good. 1 no ball was a wicket too, I might add.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Cardinals in.
Yeah. Front foot on that one.
I don't think Duckworth Lewis Stern is even helping them in the news run chase as well, sir.
We have been given the Duckworth Lewis Stern method. Actually, you know what? I want to keep a copy for myself for future. Just in case, it's always good to know the Duckworth Lewis Stern method. So Aris will continue, I should say. First ball wicket.
I've been expecting the southerly change because, according to my watch, it's 37, but the southerly breeze have kicked in at the moment. Even though it's a very muggy commentary box as we speak.
Yeah, it's not bad from where we are though. Aris to start. This ball is cut, no run. You'll find it's still a Campbell at the crease. Still a Campbell. Be looking to get some runs here for her team. Their bowling figures today were 4 overs, none for 27.
False start.
Yep, false start. She had 8 wides too, to note. She was very offline. Same as Tara French today, 9 wides. It's important to note, JP, because it does play effect in these conditions. Sydney have to be hoping they continue to be cleanish with that, as that's punched through the offside by Stella Campbell. Will be 2 runs. Fielder, it's deep cover, came across and threw the ball back in. Score reaches 34 for the loss of 4. Campbell on 2, Miller on 7. Harris started this over nicely with a wicket, but 2 runs against her name. 3 balls left of the over. Harris comes in. It's played to the offside. Dabbed down by Campbell, will be a single. And now moves to 35 at a loss of 4. And we've got pictures back on the YouTube page, Cricket New South Wales. And you'll be able to see the action. I said that as soon as I said that, my monitor went blue.
Windows 98, blue.
Blue screen of death. Actually, talking about video games, I was thinking about this morning after I saw one of the greatest mows in sport. Aris comes in, it's outside off, and she swings and misses Taylor, justifiably a wide. But, JP, somebody from Football New South Wales got an award, and justifiably so. He's worked to the great game. Awesome. His Mo is like the Monopoly man.
Oh.
Yes. Now, as Aris comes in, it's outside off stump, and it's cut by Taylor behind point. It'll go to the fence. Third could not get to it. And that will be 4 runs. And Abby Taylor, with a nice shot, moves her score to 11. It's 4 for 36. And we have got 4 for 40, I should say. Scoreboard just playing tricks on me. We have got 1 ball left of this over, by the way. So Kiwi Mekano is ready to rock and roll. And I think, JP, you're staying in. As this is a Pilfield BW. Has Aris got this? No. Well, Taylor's trying to play across the line, but not a wicket. And that is lucky. We have got 10 overs remaining. It's 4 for 40. They will need to have a Lazarus-like performance here, because it's going to be difficult. We are chasing 108 for victory. Can it be possible the next 5 overs? JP and Kiwi Mick Rainish.
Thank you, Nick Kutnak. Yes, so they need 107 runs off 10 overs.
Well, in theory, they need 11 runs per over.
Yeah, 11 runs an over. So,
wow, that's a tash.
Sydney Tigers here well on top, as we have a little bit of a look at the Rothermere FC's Peter Basher awarded OAM Football New South Wales moustache like Monopoly Man. Going once, going twice.
I can't believe it.
What a great video game as a
Monopoly
kid.
is one of the most frustrating games to play. It takes too long.
It's a cause of a lot of divorces.
Including that. Okay, so here we go. It's going to be Kira Churchland, 3 overs, no wicket for 8. Very good figures. Runs in and bowls. Goes for it. Does Stella Campbell over that mid-wicket area. They'll pick up an easy single. Just clouded over here a bit. And that wind picks up again. Funny sort of weather here in Australia Day. And it's 4 for 41. Back on strike now is Abby Taylor. She's 11 of 22 with 1 boundary. Churchland right arm spin, full toss, sweeps it to that square leg position. Player on the fence regathers. 4 for 42.
It is howling now, Mick. It is absolutely howling here at the moment.
Yep, very strong wind. Just going for a walk down to the cafe before it's hot out, when you're actually in the outside area, as the players are, and it's a half a shout for a caught behind. Umpire says no, it's all good. Campbell, 4 of 5. Northern District's going to have to pull off a great run chase here to win. And it's maybe a chance for a run out at the bowler's end. But the fielder just wasn't quite quick enough. It was Emily Powell doing the fielding. 4 for 43. Back on strike now is Abby Taylor. She's going to have to pretty much lead the way here. Full toss, smashes it. to mid-wicket, but there's a player on the fence, beautifully positioned. Another one, 4 for 44.
Yeah.
Or 44 for 4.
Yeah, 44 for 4. And we've been saying as well that this isn't the only cricket match happening. I've got 2 international cricket games on my radar. Obviously, there's the Australia Day Test in Brisbane at 3 o'clock, Australia v West Indies. The score from that yesterday, West Indies are 266 for 8.
Yep.
And then in Hyderabad, England v India, first overs again, 3 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. England on 246 runs, India 119 for 1. So a lot of cricket happening today on Australia Day. And also for our Scottish listeners, it's Burns Night as well. So happy Burns Night if you're a Scottish listener.
Yeah, and
Republic Day as well in India as well.
Yeah, India, I tell you what, watching a bit of that game yesterday, what a team at home they are.
That ball turns, man.
England trying the Bazball approach, it just wouldn't work against those spinners like Ravi Ashwin and Ravi Jadeja. And it's going to be a Sydney Tigers getting ready to bowl. A beautiful delivery here. That's Javina Arras.
Beautiful block.
Yep. What a delivery. That one cut in off the wicket. Good bowling there by the right armour. 4 for 45 here in the 12th over. The target is 147. They still need over 100 runs. Just under 9 overs left. She runs into balls and again Arras. Bit shorter. Played away through the covers off the back foot for a single there by Stella Campbell. We'll give you updates, of course, of those 2 international games which start in about 20 minutes' time. And, of course, we will be covering the final of this competition at 3:30 first ball, right after this match. Here goes Arras again. Abby Taylor, 13 off 24. Guides it backward a point. Beautiful fielding. That could have been 4 if she missed it. They will pick up a single, though. 4 for 47.
So, Kerry, so the winner of this game will be, assuming it will be Sydney. They'll be pretty much be playing straight away pretty much.
Yep, against Campbelltown Camden, who beat St George Sutherland easily by 9 wickets with about 3 or 4 overs to spare. Here goes Arras again. And it's just short of point there. Campbell playing the late cut.
They did consider going for a run there, but I think the moment the ball landed in the fielder's arms, they just decided, no, we're not going to risk it. But there is that thought, isn't there, of, you know, do we go for that run? Do we try and get a point on the board, or and potentially get knocked out?
You get run out, yeah. And here goes Arras. This one, this nice steady line again. Pushes it into the onside for a single, though, does Campbell. 4 for 48. 1 ball left in the 12th. Arras, 1.5 overs, 1 for 11.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Better out than in.
That's what they always say.
Yep, especially on, what's the Scotland Day you were saying? The
Burns Night.
Burns Night. Have to Google that one tonight after my commentary stint. And she's gone for it here, Taylor, and it's between everyone, between 3 fielders. They're going to run back for a couple here. They do need to start going for it. 12 overs gone here, and it's 4 for 50.
And I'm seeing another Qantas jet flying overhead, or it might be a different airline, but where do we think that's going? Darwin, London, Melbourne, Canberra? What do you think?
Hawaii.
Fiji.
Oh, yeah. Actually, wouldn't mind being in Fiji today, to be honest with you.
Actually, no, it's an Etihad jet. I can see the tail from here, so that's going to Abu Dhabi.
That's a good spot check. I didn't even notice that.
Well, you can make out with the diamonds.
Yeah.
This is what we do on Triple H commentary. We can go from cricket to plane spotting.
I know, especially between overs. It's good. It fills in the time.
Yeah. So we're 50 for 4 at the moment with the Northern District. Looks like Sydney Tigers are going up against Campbelltown in the grand final.
Well, at this stage it does. You never know with cricket.
Well, let's not assume things.
Yeah.
Let's never assume things.
But one thing I can call for certainty is that the wind is definitely picking up. You can hear it over the effects mic.
So Samira D'Amiglio for her first over, left arm spin. It's a bit wide, but it's just inside that wide line. And it is Campbell on strike. She's 8 off 11. Abby Taylor 16 of 26. This wind getting really, really strong here. Out in the west of Sydney, here at near Homebush, of course, at Cricket Central.
Just, of course, a few blocks away from here is the
monitor shaking in our commentary box. And
this
there goes
is strong wind. A bit like Wellington, where I'm originally from, really. One of the windiest cities in the world.
I thought that was Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, Wellington's up there. It's not the most, but it's up there. As this wind is going to cause some havoc with the bowling, it's going to be flying around everywhere. This is another dot ball, though.
Really? Wellington over Chicago?
No. Wellington would be one of the most windiest. Yeah.
I'm going to go away, as a certain person says, I'm going to go away and Google it, and then I'll get back to you as to what is actually the windiest city in the world.
She's gone down the ground here and caught at mid-off. They have to play their shots, but the Sydney Tigers bowling today has been too good. They've just tied them up, Northern Districts. All of a sudden now, they're 5 for 50, and Stella Campbell's gone for 8.
Just a good line of length there. It's like you said, they had to go for it. Campbell decided to hoik it over the fielder, and she was underneath it to grab that catch. And 5 for 50, 98 runs to win, 5 wickets in hand. We could almost say that Sydney have got 1 foot into that. 1 foot into that grand final, but I just want to think if they were the players, let's get these 5 wickets over and done with before the next game.
Yeah, have a bit of a break. Here goes Amy Cunningham coming to the wicket now in jersey number 12, and all of their bowlers have been tidy, that's for sure.
Did Campbelltown finish first then?
I know that was 1 against 4.
Yeah. Because I was just about to say...
I think they were 4th.
Oh,
so
okay.
4th beat 1st in the earlier semi-final,
so
which was at
first.
9 a.m. local time. Yep, 4th are through. And I'm pretty sure Sydney Tigers are 3rd as well, so it might be 3rd against 4th in the final.
Wow. So 1 and 2.
Looking potentially to be knocked out. So Cunningham is a right-handed batter. And all of these bowlers for the Sydney Tigers are chipping in. They're bowling nowhere near as many wides as what Northern Districts did.
Disciplined bowling, Kiwi.
Yep,
Nick.
disciplined bowling. And they're well in control of this match. Campbelltown, Camden, all their players and staff here up near a commentary area, just sitting and watching and waiting to see who they're going to play. It's going to be a good final. And here goes DiMiglio again. Cunningham plays the shot through the covers. Fielder out on the fence there, but they'll just settle for the 1. 5 for 51.
Oh, 51 for 5.
Yep. Another plane goes overhead here on Australia Day.
That definitely sounds like a prop job.
It's pretty loud.
Might be a helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
sorry,
helicopter.
it is a helicopter.
Looking for traffic somewhere.
I stand corrected.
Looking for traffic somewhere. I don't know where the traffic is at the moment on a public holiday.
Yeah, there's still a few cars around. Here goes...
There's a load of road closures in the CBD due to the concert at Circular Quay today, so that's probably why.
Fired it up, gone for it down the ground. A chance of a catch. And brilliantly taken. The fielder had to run about 15 metres there from mid-off round to mid-on. Covered the ground, took it well in the strong breeze, and all of a sudden here, that's Abby Taylor gone, the captain for 16. It's 6 for 51.
It wasn't... How do I say this? The catcher made a really good sprint of it to us.
Yeah,
One,
made some ground.
It's mine. And to get the hands ready. Because in that situation, because this win would have been Padical with a cricket ball in the air. Or it could have been swirling around doing the tricks. But she did well. Kept the coolness under pressure underneath there, and great catch. And if I'm right here, Kiwi, 6 for 51.
Yep, 6 for 51. Eliza Thompson, the new batter at the wicket. Sydney Tigers here. Anything over 140 in this grade, very hard to get. Looks like they're going to fall well short. The way it's going.
Well, we said in the Northern Districts bowling innings, it was like 27 extras.
Yeah, so many wides, yeah. Especially in the first sort of 10 overs, or those first 5 overs.
here with Sydney, 7 extras. It's disciplined bowling at its finest. And I think it's Delamelio with the catch.
Yep. Demiglio is 0.5 overs, 2 wickets for 1 run. So his left arm spin now to Cunningham.
Ooh.
And nearly bowled through the gate. What a delivery. 13 overs gone. Northern District 6 for 51. The target is 147.
They need an absolute. We're approaching nearly. So 7 overs. That's still touching a run rate of 15 or 16.
Yeah.
You just can't see this happening. I know this is strange because the Sydney side will be playing next, but they've got to be thinking. And I know it's crazy. Let's get these next 4 wickets out, so we get at least a decent break here. 7 overs. Could say it's academic, but they just want to get these next 4 wickets. Because I'm presuming the next game will be a 3:30.
Yep, 3:30 scheduled. And I don't know, they might make it a tiny bit later though, just to give the players a breather. But here goes Sammy Jo Johnson. She's 2 overs, 1 for 10. They've got 4 outside the circle. Fine leg, third man, deep cover and a deep mid-wicket. And Cunningham on strike. Just plays it down the ground for no run. It's not going to get any easier here with Sammy Jo Johnson bowling. Good team effort here by the Sydney Tigers with their batting, of course. A lot of them getting good scores there. So Giselle Plummer, Eva Ragg batted really good. So Sammy Jo Johnson runs in again. Full toss, driven into the offside. A chance of a run out of the striker's end, and she's gone.
Oh, what a throw.
Great fielding there by the Sydney Tigers. A direct hit. They are absolutely smoking today. And that is another wicket. It's 7 for 51.
What a throw.
Direct hit, yep.
And again, we said this earlier with the first run out. She may have had all the time in the world, but the hard part of that run out, and I know it sounds really stupid to say, is actually getting to the ball and having a quick release. It's sort of, you got to tell yourself to slow down, pick up the ball and throw it the stumps. She just did that in one motion, and I know it's an attitude thing, but that was just beautiful fielding there.
Ava Ryan comes to the wicket. Yep, so their fielding's been good, their bowling's been good, and they batted as a team. No one really got a massive score, but they all chipped in with sort of 20s and 30s, including the extras.
There's also international tennis taking place in Melbourne with the Australian Open. Novak Djokovic due to make his 11th appearance playing Italian player Jannik Sinner. So that's getting underway in Melbourne.
So that's semi-final today?
Yes, both men's.
Men's semi-final.
So the final will that be on Sunday night, right?
Yes, that's Sunday night. I was fooled because I would have thought...
Goes fast, doesn't it?
Because I thought they played the women's semi-finals on yesterday afternoon, but no, they made them... They were both last night, which kind of makes sense, actually.
And the women's final will be tomorrow.
Yes.
Yep.
And then, of course, as we've been mentioning, we've also got the international cricket happening today.
And this one just hit back with a point. Huge! Oh. What a big... there was confusion all over the place. They almost had the cut lunch in the middle of the pitch, as Kutnak would say.
Oh, that was a big chicken schnitzel sandwich out there in the middle.
Yeah. Time for a cuppa. Australia Day.
You know what the temperature is right now, actually, from where we are after this delivery? I'll play the guess. You'll be shocked when I tell you this weather.
Yeah. Ava Ryan on strike, right-handed batter. Up in the block hole, slices it away through the covers for 1 run. 7 for 52.
You know how it was like 40 degrees just after 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 29.
Oh, so it's dropped down a bit.
Yes.
That's a considerable drop.
Yeah, that's a lot.
In the words of the classics, I've got the chills.
I mean, I'm still feeling warm, but that could just be because I'm, a pom.
Yeah, you're right.
And this one pushed back to the bowler for no run. So
and it's dropped 11 degrees in an hour. How does that work?
That's incredible, isn't it?
How does that work?
What's the feels like?
29.9.
If there's one thing I've learnt about being in this country over 2 years is that there's no middle ground with the weather. It's either too cold or it's too hot. There's no in between.
Cunningham on strike, 1 off 4. Again in the block hole, pushed into the onside for no run. Tigers are on fire here. Northern District's 14 overs gone, and it's 7 for 52.
Of course, the Sydney Tigers looking for the three wickets as we nearly approach the top of the hour here at 3 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Of course, they'll be, I would say, 30 or 45 minutes in preparation for the final here.
Yes.
To be fair, but we keep an eye on this second semi-final. And I know I sound over a broken record, but the pitch is offering nothing here for the bowlers.
Yeah, they try. I mean, Sydney Tigers have just bowled tight to earn their wickets. Some good catching, some good run-outs. And it's going to be Samira D'Amiglio, 1 over, 2 wickets for 1 run. Ava Ryan on strike, 1 off 2. Here goes D'Amiglio again with the left arm spin. Tosses it up, pushes it to point, no run. Some enthusiastic fielding by Emily Powell at point.
The breeze has definitely chilled down as well, you can feel it.
Yeah, even the breeze coming through our window is quite cool now as well. It used to be hot earlier on. Flights it up again, full toss, driven down the ground straight to mid-off, no run. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here on Triple H FM. Of course, stay tuned, the final will be on in around about half an hour after this match. We'll go through to about 6 or 7 o'clock tonight as she flights it up again and straight back to the bowler for no run. So D'Amiglio, another player with good figures here. All of their figures are going to look good when we do the wrap up. She bowls now to Ryan, tosses it up, full toss, goes for the big sweep shot, and the umpire says it's okay. Maybe she got some bat or a pad on that one. So it's no run.
Is that a leg side wide?
Look like it.
It definitely looked wide and the bat definitely made contact with the wicket, but...
And this one is played away through the covers off the back foot for a single. Another great over here. 1 ball left in the 15th. 7 for 53 here, Northern Districts. Kiwi Viz is Sydney Tigers 99, Northern Districts 1, super over 0. As they bowl again, and it's pushed back to the bowler for no run. So to take you through the next 5 overs, or maybe less, is Nick Kutnak and Matt Mears. Time for a water for me.
Well, we're basically calling the finish. That's what we're doing. And Mearsy, I've got to say, very disappointing performance by Northern Districts today. We expected better from this side, but it looks like Sydney and Campbelltown Camden will be joining each other in the grand final later on this afternoon.
It certainly does. I'm sure the Rangers would have had high hopes coming into this one, but as I said, what a bowling performance it's been by the Tigers so far.
Okay, so Sammy Joe makes her way into bowl, and this is a good ball. It's full up. Ryan plays it to the onside for no run. Stopped off by Iris. So this wind picking up, and the conditions are getting cooler. The talk of a hot breeze, but it's not as hot as what it was earlier this morning.
No, definitely not. As I said, it's still not your optimal temperatures out there. The old park cricketers would still want to be at the pub.
Sammy Joe comes in. Ryan's able to cut that. Goes to the fielder at third. Throw will come in. They're looking for 2, but they're not going to go for the 2. I suppose they're not running with the vigour that we saw with Sydney, and the game is pretty much gone at 7 for 54 for Northern District. But you'd like to see a bit more hunger, and I don't think there was hunger there in that run.
No, it's more the last rites, isn't it? It's like, let's try and at least get to 20 overs, not get bowled out, and save some sort of face, which is not the best thing with what we've seen from the Rangers over the years.
Wide was on the leg side by Sammy Joe, and Cunningham just lets it go. This matchup this afternoon is going to be an absolute pearl. I spoke before, you got Sarah Coit and Lauren Cheadle on that side for Campbelltown Camden. It's a good lineup.
Yeah, it certainly is, though, and they'll be leaning on them to get them that start. We know how good Stella Campbell is, and the wide she gave away.
Sammy Joe comes in, played to the onside for no run by Cunningham.
and they'll be looking for the exact opposite, the ghost. They've got those representative bowlers. They'll be there to do a job, particularly probably the same as Sammy Joe's doing here now for the Tigers. Keep it tight, not let the likes of Sammy Joe herself at the top of the order, Jodie Hicks, etc., get away, which is what the Rangers let them do here early doors. And it might not be the highest scoring grand final, but it's going to be intriguing, I feel.
Well, who knows what it could be? You just never know with these conditions, because Sydney can hit the ball. I think we saw that in the first innings, but they were very wise when they hit. Okay, short third, point, cover, mid-off. Sammy Joe comes in, a slower ball. Play by Cunningham to the offside. No run. Fielder at mid-off cuts it off.
Yeah, this is just good line and length bowling. It's almost you're back to your traditional 50 over / longer form type bowling. Just hit the top of off. If you want to play the big shot, go for it, but the ball's not going to be there and you're just risking losing your wicket.
Sammy Joe makes her way into Cunningham. Cunningham able to punch her through the offside again. Mid-off gets to it, but they'll run a single. They're looking for two, but no, there was never really a go for two. Ryan was looking, but it wasn't the case. It's 7 for 56. Cunningham on 2.
Yeah, as I said, they'll be looking still to push the ball around, take those singles if they're on offer, but even with the field still having 4 out, it just feels like we're in a holding pattern. Just these 4 overs, they just want them to be over as quick as possible.
Well, it's punched by Ryan, past the fielder at cover. They're going to run at least 1. They're looking for 2, and they are going to go for the 2. Cunningham was really pushing Ryan, and Ryan able to get her 2 runs to make it 5. Cunningham on 2. It's 7 for 58 after the 16th over, chasing 147 for victory. Fat chance of that happening, but as I said there, at least there's hunger from Cunningham. Ryan didn't really want to run there, but there was always 2 on that situation.
Yeah, 100%. And Sammy Joe finishes her 4 overs, 1 for 16. That's what you want to see from your representative bowlers. Really keeping those runs down and being a threat to the batters that are out there. Is it maybe putting a few up there? If you want to take the risk, go for it. But I'm going to have the fielders in the right spots and make it as hard as possible, particularly when you're chasing a total like that. But as I said, I think as well, the Tigers have just really been on it with bat, ball and infield, and the Rangers just haven't been today.
Miglio comes in, Ryan just bats it back past her, a single as mid-off gets to it. And to do some work, brings Cunningham back on strike.
As I said, and I think the loss of Kate Jackson, their usual skipper as well, couldn't make the trip back in time.
Sorry, reverse that was Cunningham with the single. Now it's Ryan back on strike, and Ryan plays it to the offside for no run.
Yeah, that would just put a little bit of a jitter through the team as well. Obviously, great replacement in Abby Taylor skippering, but just things would feel a little bit different.
Ryan tries to bat that. There's an appeal for stumping, and she's out. Well, Ryan was trying to get a edge on that, she couldn't, and then it was picked up by the keeper and slams the stumps. She's gone.
Yeah, good bit of bowling there. There's just a little bit of turn in this Cricket Central pitch. Was able to exploit it there. Only needed to turn it half a bat width, and that's all she did. It was ever so close to the outside edge of the blade, and straight into the keeper's hands. The bails were off in a jiffy and just dragged that foot forward. Great piece of left arm orthodox bowling, and the final nails of the coffin of the ND's T20 season starting to really come in here now from what's been a magnificent bowling performance. And as I said, we're missing players like Maitland Brown, who we saw in action in our last Triple H call 2 weeks ago. Really impressed with the ball. So for the rest of the team to step up and fill that hole, it's been a great all-round performance here from the Tigers.
Well, talk about a good performance. Joe Root's got a wicket. India are now 2 for 123, and they trail by 1, 2, 3 as well. JP, tell us what happened.
Well, Joe Root just bluntly threw the spinner there, and poor old Gill, well, not Gill, just nothing of a delivery there, and England get their second wicket. While at the Gabbator, it's 8 for 266. We're in the 90th over, and while at the tennis Sinner leading the break, it's 3 love first set.
Yeah, but Djokovic is about to win the fourth game of the first set as he comes in to serve the sinner. Hits the net first occasion, is back to the cricket. It's played to the offside for no run. Or stopped by the bowler, D'Amiglio. Anyway, Djokovic about to serve. Well, we can do that, can't we, as Eve to face D'Amiglio. And Eve just punches that. Field up mid-off, gets to it. Will only be a single, but they want to run that. Score now moves to 8 for 60. Eve on 1, Cunningham on 3. And Sydney are going to be taking this home, this semi-final against Northern District, but they are going to be fighting at the end. Just having a look at the action, Djokovic is still 30-15 ahead of Sinner, but Sinner is trying to drag that back as now it's played by Cunningham back to the bowler and D'Amiglio for no run. End of the over, it's 8 for 60. Bit of excitement at the moment. Kiwi Mick. I know Kiwi Mick's excited. He's gone out for a couple of drinks, but I know you're excited, Mearsy, with all the sport that's just started this afternoon. It's fascinating what's happening.
It's sort of, we've hit the Claxton and it's gone off, and we've seen the start of everything coming up. As I said, we are waiting for these last 3 overs so we can get down to this Sydney Tigers v Campbelltown Camden grand final this afternoon. You're talking about some of the bowling, but we look at the Campbelltown Camden Ghost batting. Annika Leroy, another member of the New South Wales squad, 90 off 66. She can repeat that form in this late afternoon final. Boy, we're going to be on it for here. But I think we're just seeing a few going through the motions here. But Neil Bryson Smith coming back on from this northern end. We saw how miserly she was in her first 2 overs. It's going to be even harder here for the Rangers.
Comes in over the wicket. Eve is able to just back and just push it through the covers for a single. And the score now moves to 8 for 61. Eve now moves her score to 2. Cunningham on 3. I was watching JP before. He was trying to put the laptop and the iPad down. It was like a waiter, you know, when they're bringing your meal to you. The way he just nicely just had it in control. It was awesome to watch. And JP's going to say something. Now he's decided to just whack the headset on as Cunningham plays it to the offside from the Bryson Smith delivery. Fielder at long on has to run for the ball. Only a single. Score now moves to 62 for 8. JP, what do you want?
I was a waiter.
Were you?
Yes.
What club?
Oh, I used to work in an RSL club.
Ah, here we go. The Rissole. Well, that's what they're called, the Rissoles. The RSL. I know it's an old term, but still it's a term. Bryson Smith goes back over the wicket to the left-hander and Eve, who tries to bat that around the corner, but no run. Score still 8 for 62.
5 years at the club, doing well. I was about to lose my voice.
You had the little white napkin over the forearm and everything.
Bryson Smith comes in, full of ball, and Eve tried to play at it, but just hits her body. No run. Score still 62 for 8.
The reason why for the white cloth, so your hands don't get burnt.
I'll tell you now, he's been burnt a few times, JP. On that note, Bryson Smith comes in for delivery 5 of the over. Eve tries to play that across the face, goes to the onside fielder deep, gets to it. They're going to look for 2. They're going to run the 2. And she gets there quite easily. Eve, she moves her score to 4. It's 8 for 64.
Yeah, good running there. As I said, soft hands. No one at a traditional mid-wicket. They do have the sweeper back there on the boundary. So there are some runs out here to play with for the Rangers, but as I said, with the run rate probably at about 36 runs and over.
On the back foot, Eve doesn't get a touch on that. It was a better ball by Bryson Smith, but still no wicket. End of the over, it's 8 for 64, and we've got 2 overs to play in this one. And Northern District, their season in the T20 is coming to an end. Still plenty of cricket for them this season. The one day is taking precedence now.
Yeah, so we appreciate everybody that's tuning in for wherever you may be tuning in through. We know that the camera's down, but hopefully you can still hear us coming through the YouTube channel on Cricket New South Wales, Triple H 100.1 FM, Hawkesbury, MacArthur Sports Radio. You'll be looking forward, I'm sure, to the grand final with your Ghosts coming up.
Start of the new over. D'Amiglio bowling and played to the onside for no run by Cunningham.
And also our friends at Crick Connect, Paul Ryan, thanks for the shout out as well for our coverage. Appreciate everyone goes out there. As I said, maybe the test match is not your cup of tea. T20 action is.
She goes forward to it, Cunningham, from the D'Amiglio delivery, but played to the onside, but mid-off quick as a wicket gets to it for the single.
But yeah, as I said, you do feel though they're just running through the motions here. You'd feel that the Tigers, they're getting a little bit of a spring in their step. They'll want a little bit of a break, particularly if they've got to go, if they lose the toss and have to field. 40 overs, I know it's cooled off, but there'll still be a bit of heat there from the earlier innings.
Eve smashes that. It's going to go towards the square leg fence, and that's 4 runs. It was a nice shot. She got that in the line. It's one of those shots in between the pull and a hook. Not really a hook, but she was trying to play it above her line, and it was a nice shot for 4 runs. Moves her score to 8. It's 69 for 8 with Cunningham on 5. It was a good shot. I love it.
Well, it's one of those. It's more of a hoik, but this carpet-like outfield here at Cricket Central, as soon as you get it rolling, unless you're basically stationed there on the boundary, you're not cutting it off.
She goes forward to it here, Eve, and this is what we like to see as a single now for Eve. Moves her score to 9. It's 8 for 70. Cunningham on 5. Just quickly, the tennis. Jokovic did win his first game of the first set. 3-1, Sinner and Jokovic. That game, the day game, or day match I should say, as it's played to the onside by Cunningham for no run. Because ESPN have said we want this as our main game, or main match. So Jokovic would normally be playing nights. He's played, his second or third afternoon match of the tournament. He hasn't played an afternoon for months, or years I should say, for the Australian Open, as it's played by Cunningham. They're looking for 2, but it'll just be a single as long off gets to it. And the super smash. So Canterbury are 5 for 130 in retaliation to Wellington 7. Now it's just gone off my screen. 7 for 173. There
Winners
you go.
in the final on Sunday against Auckland.
Okay, that will be good. Super
44
smash.
of 20.
44 of 20. Okay. Yeah,
I know what Kiwi Mix Sunday's going to be.
I know.
Super Smash and the Royal Rumble.
Oh, is that on Sunday?
Royal Rumble's on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love they moved all the pay-per-views. Just don't mention Vince McMahon.
You know what's on Sunday, though?
What's on Sunday?
And you'll hear a preview of that later on tonight.
Oh, here we go.
Daytona 24-hour, baby!
Oh, the pit box coming up after the cricket.
Exactly. How good's that to say? Is Cunningham plays it through the offside for a single.
I'll give you a plug there.
They're looking for 2, not coming. As the score now is 8 for 72. And Cunningham is on 7. It's a loose show tonight too, I've got to say. It was a really loose show. Ollie and I.
Splinters is a loose show. We're used to them.
So Bryson Smith comes in over the wicket. Eve is trying to hoik that, but it just goes to the onside for a single. You can hear the contact of that. Really didn't sound great, did it, off the bat?
No, just a bit of inside edge there, I feel. Didn't hit that nice meaty part of the bat. And instead it sort of dribbled out onto the onside accordingly.
By the way, the wind is picking up, and it's picking up nicely as Bryson Smith comes in around the wicket. It's been played by Cunningham straight to the fielder at cover. It was an easy catch for Sammy Joe Johnson. Just had to put her mitts out. And another wicket falls. It's 9 for 73, and Cunningham's out for 7.
Yeah, it was there to hit, but just maybe not quite getting that contact that she's looking for. Couldn't get that elevation over Sammy Joe, and it was just more of a half a step to the right and get the hands in the right position. And yeah, another wicket goes down here for the Rangers as they sort of limp to this 20 over mark. It's yeah, not the best, not the day that the Rangers would have been looking for when they woke up this morning.
So we got the window cracked open a little bit here in our broadcast spot. That wind is coming through nicely at the moment.
Oh,
it is cool.
It is, as I said, we were all avoiding the window earlier on because, as I said,
I wasn't.
It is a nice air-conditioned box we've got here. It's not the concrete grandstand where we were 2 weeks ago. But, as I said, the conditions here have changed. The cloud cover is nice. It does look a little bit of some dark clouds, but I don't think they're going to bring any rain, though, for us.
Ah, here we go. Tim Bailey's on it at the moment.
Don't call me Tim Bailey.
Why? As Bryson Smith comes around the wicket, appeal for LBW, but never going to be out. They're going to run the single though, and she's just going to make her ground. Tell you now, Das was she was standing there for a couple of moments. They did call league buys, didn't they, on that? So league buys for Das, but I've got to say the appeal for LBW was on, and she just stood there, and Eve's like, "Let's run!"
Get me on strike.
As now Eve just dabs that to the fielder. It's cover, no run. It's 9 for 74. We've got only a couple of balls left in this match. The Northern District season is over in the T20s as Bryson Smith over the wicket comes in. A shorter ball. He plays it to the offside. They're going to run the single. Das is very slow. She's going to make a ground. No, she didn't even try to put a bat out. She'll be out, run out. And they're all out for 74. And Sydney are on their way to the final of the T20 series. And they'll be playing Campbelltown Camden in just under half an hour from now.
Probably even quicker than that. There'll be a tight turnaround between these two games. They'll make sure they don't want to be here till the lights come on here. As there is no lights at Cricket Central, but we'll go through the tail of the tape for this innings. Not quite the scorecard. Northern Districts will be looking for Caitlin Galliano. Caught by Churchland off the bowling of Sammy Joe. 2 of 7 deliveries. Tara French was run out by the combination of Jodie Hicks and Alexandra Timms. 2 of 2. Alicia Bates run out by Olivia Maxwell. 12 of 20 deliveries. 1 for included there. Abby Taylor caught Maxwell. Bowled DiMeglio 16 of 27 balls with 1 boundary. Claire Webber stumped by Timms off the bowling of Arras. 3 of 7. Stella Campbell coming in the middle order. Caught by Plummer off the bowling of DiMeglio. 8 of 14. Cunningham caught by Sammy Joe off the bowling of Bryson Smith. 7 of 18. Eliza Thompson run out by Kira Churchland for a golden duck. Ava Ryan stumped by DiMeglio. Stumped by Timms off the bowling of DiMeglio. 5 off 12. Sienna Eve finishes 10 not out off 12 deliveries, with including 1 boundary. Shannon Das sailed down the river. Run out by that combination of Sammy Joe and the keeper in Timms. She was a duck off 1 delivery. 9 extras in that, 7 wides, 1 no ball, 1 leg by. They end up being bowled out off the last delivery for 74. The bowling for the Sydney Tigers, Nell Bryson Smith, 4 overs, 1 for 12. Sammy Joe, 4 overs, 1 for 16. Churchland, the skipper, 4 overs, none for 13. Eva Ragg, 2 overs, none for 8. Arras, 2 overs, 1 for 13. And DiMeglio, 4 overs, 3 for 11. That's what's got the Sydney Tigers here across the line. We see the Northern District Rangers, they're out in their little huddle. They'd be very disappointed. They're bowling, let them down. They should not have been having to chase such a high total, and then just the batting was just too good bowling by the Tigers. And yeah, they're going to have to rethink some tactics after that one, I think, Nick Cutniak.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Just quickly, West Indies are 8 for 273, and that's after 93 overs. Sinclair on 19, and Roach on 4. Hazelwood 2 for 37. Quickly in the match in India, and the Indians are 127 for 2, trailing by 119 against England, as Hartley comes in the gill and blocks it. And Jokovic and Sinner doing battle. Sinner, well, he leads the first set 4-1. Jokovic on serve, but he's love 30, so it could be Sinner's way. The Australian Open, of course, with the semi-finals. Mearsy, we'll take a bit of a Kool-Aid, a bit of a break before we get into this final. It's going to be a cracker. Who are we tipping?
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be a big one. I think both sides have their advantages. I said you look at that 90 from Annika Leroy for the Ghosts earlier today, but can she do that against this Sydney Tigers bowling lineup? I know for me, I'm excited. We'll have a break of about 7 minutes or so here, whether you're listening through Cricket New South Wales YouTube channel and Frogbox, Triple H 100.1 FM, Hawkesbury, MacArthur Sports Radio, the plethora of places we are this afternoon. It will be the Sydney Tigers taking on the Campbelltown Camden Ghosts in that New South Wales Women's Premiership T20 Grand Final, brought to you by the good folks at Kingsgrove Sports Centre. We'll be right back very shortly to take you through that one.
No worries. Thanks.
We'll be coming back at 15:24:18. Three minutes. Minutes. 30 seconds to opener. 20 seconds. 10 seconds to opener. And opener.